Oh, gonna try and hunt down High. Did see his position was revealed thanks to the Destiny. There is a push over the 20 gold card something. Spirit dives on top of him. Death Mark will go, and they won't be enough to keep him alive or get the kill. That's one for Spirit.
Good news is, for Cloud9, High already didn't have a Baron buff because he was the one split pushing when they took it, so it wasn't as big of a deal, but still, even running through your own jungle, it's not your jungle anymore if you don't have any wards and you're facing this team, the Twitch, the TF, even Rumble, Acorn has been teleporting
When Destiny has just been used, you have no vision in your jungle. Why do you walk into it? What the hell was that? That was rubbish. That's what it was. Rubbish. Come on, High. Step it up, boy. You're at 1-7-1. This is not what we want to see from Cloud9. At the moment, Samsung Blue have themselves the lead. They have 5,000 gold in the head, despite the Baron being on Cloud9. Sneaky. He's going to have to drag the team screaming and kicking on this one. Game one for him was incredible. He's at 2-on-1. He's avoided a lot of the skirmishes. And right now, they're looking to see if they can try and pressure this top turret. Deft was there, but he stepped away. They were trying to set up a trap for him, but it is not going to work out. And this Baron buff, it's going to time out without getting much use.
Well, an opportune Baron at least brings the gold back for Cloud9. High, better watch out, because Demon's after it.
Demon's going to have his head for that one.
I'm almost scared
You were
to stand
just
here.
praising his shot calling, though, so remember that.
He's making great shots,
Remember that.
that's for sure. But at the moment, his actual play itself is somewhat lacking. That's a turret, though. And again, Cloud9, they're running good positional advantages here. The Dragon will go across. I think this is the first Dragon for Samsung Blue, maybe the second. But this game is far from over. 4,000 gold is the difference, but as we've seen, Cloud9 don't care about gold leads. They can keep you guessing, and High is going to keep on split pushing throughout this game. I don't think he's going to give up on that one at any point. They're going to continue the 4-1 split.
Thing is, as this game goes on, it gets harder and harder for Cloud9. They're facing the Kazakhs, Twitch, Rumble, TF here. This is ridiculous. There's so many answers already built into the team on Blue. They have 2 Zanyas, and Deft has been able to finish his Quicksilver Sash now. So High, he has to split push. There's too many things that he can't deal with in a team fight here. It's going to become really, really difficult for Cloud9. And this Baron buff, even when they had the Baron buff, they weren't able to close the gold gap at all. They traded objectives, and they lost extra kill.
The trading turret, you can see the bottom inner turret will go. Samsung Blue pushing this one while the top one is being pushed. Protected by Dada, uses his Destiny to try and clear out. Does manage to get the wards, the minions down. Cloud9 have to back away from this one. Samsung Blue are not backing down in the bottom lane. They're going for the inhib turret.
4 people there, that's a dangerous TF up at the top. Can get rid of the waves quickly. Sneaky actually stuck around. Lemon Nation will recall, but there's enough there for Cloud9 to force them away from the inhibitor turret. It leaves us at 6-5 in terms of towers. Of course, there's an open inhibitor down in the bottom lane thanks to that push earlier on from High. The question is, can Cloud9 get into that kind of position again to pull something off in this game? First things first, I think they need to start getting some ward control back.
Well, the thing is, I'm talking about things that Blue has to answer Cloud9's. The split push is really hard for them because, as we said again, the TF plus the Twitch can chase him down at any time. So it's really putting Cloud9 into a corner here as to how to outplay Blue right now. And it really does have to come from extra vision control and picking somebody off.
That's just the problem. The High's targets are lacking now. QSS being picked up by Deft. 2 Zonyas, of course, on both Acorn and Dade. There's really a lack of who he can go up against when the team fights do happen when he gets in there. So we'll see how he does. At the moment, it's going to be down the bottom. One of those targets he can get, Spirit, maybe if he can catch him out, but I don't think Spirit's going to be foolish enough to push this wave on his own. It is the mid lane, it looks like Samsung Blue are going to group up and shove back in.
Right, still waiting though down bottom, scanning out those brushes, making sure that he's actually not in full vision. When I say he's not in full vision, they ping right on top of his head though.
Oh, Dade's going there.
And we've got 1.5 minutes until the Baron comes back up. Dade will get a tri-bush ward down. I believe that High is actually still inside of the brushes, not actually shown himself there, so You will see Dade actually coming back. And, I don't think he stepped out there. I don't think he came out of the brush there. So Dade, he may know he's there, he may not know he's there. Hai wants to get out
Hai's
anyway.
like, nope, not having none of that. Oh, he's sticking around.
So Hai, that vision that you were mentioning, deep vision for Cloud9, isn't
Get a back
there.
door. He wants the back door.
Isn't there, so he didn't know somebody else would come. And this is what we're talking about. Cloud9, their backs are against the wall. They have to pull out something really sneaky like this.
Keep your Hai. The minion wave's gonna go past, and then he's gonna sneak straight up there. There goes the minion wave. He's waiting, and he's gonna push up. He's gone. He's already off. He's going. There we go. He's going to try and sneak in the back door. Bulls has pushed the top wave, so Dade may well go up there to deal with that wave, and that's going to buy them time. Clever tactical play. He's really been sneaky.
He snuck into a side door here before the other minion wave came down. He snuck over through this little bush. He's working his way up inch by inch. He's playing the spy games here.
He put a ward there, just to the right. So he's got vision, now he's sneaking up, but he's not where they're
going. The guard
going.
moves by, he moves up again into the next shadows.
He really is.
Fourth place.
He's really a full-on ninja right now. He's going for it.
Hai fully taking this Zed to the next level. Embracing the champion fully.
I'm interested to see if he can pull this one off. We've got 3 seconds for Baron. There's the minion wave gone. Get ready. There he is. The ninja.
They saw him. They saw him.
No!
Oh, they pinged him. They pinged him. They saw him. The Baron just spawned, though. So if they all pull back, we could see Cloud9 stick the Baron. He knows it. He knows it's spotted. In comes Dade. He's going to turn it around. He's going to try and get away. But look at Cloud9. The rest of the team, they're running to Baron. And well, Samsung Blue know about it. They're going to try and turn a merry dance here. It's not going to happen for them. Dade does get himself the kill. And in goes Cloud9. It's not going to be enough. Def of the side, along with an equalizer. It's a scary prospect, and Samsung Blue will beat them away.
Oh, good equalizer comes out from Acorn. He flashes into the middle, but landed into a binding there. This could be bad for him. He's got the Zonyas, of course, which will keep him alive for a while longer. One more on. Sneaky would have done it. Sneaky being attacked and killed by Spirit. Meanwhile, Elimination goes down, and that's 5 men down. An 8 for Samsung Blue for nothing. They could go straight to Baron.
What an attempt from Cloud9, though. They knew they were just boxed into a corner, and Hai blows out the Black Ops mission. Even though the mission barely failed at the last stage with 1 step, it was still a valiant effort, and Blue have done such a good job controlling this game. Talking about how the picks and bans, they completely switched back the picks and bans to the team fighting that they know and love, to the Twitch that Def knows and loves, and you have to commend them for their ability to execute. Those mid-game fights especially were on point from Blue. And this one, of course, as you're saying, it was a desperate move from Cloud9. They were trying to go over to that Baron because, you know, Hai had done that split pushing, but again, you're against the Rumble. He's got the equalizer when you're in the pit. Very hard to take, even 4 versus 5 for Cloud9, and Blue make them pay for it.
So big comeback for Samsung Blue. They've looked solid throughout this game. They now have themselves a 12,000 gold lead, and the Baron picked up. 6-5 still in turrets. Cloud9, they are still showing they have game. They have tricks up their sleeve if they can make them count. And remember, it was a 10,000 gold lead last time against Najim Whiteshot. They did lose that game, but they certainly led them on a merry dance for a very long time in that tiebreaker game using these tricks. So Cloud9 really on top of their game. The problem is that gold deficit may well be too much now.
Yeah, and I think Hai's going to think twice about trying that again. It took him about 5 minutes, only to be spotted anyway as he stepped out of the brush. So that might not be an option for them in the future. Although I say that, and Hai's like, you know what, guys, I'm going to try this one. However, Def has spotted him. The slow does land, and there is Spirit. There is a death bar going down from Hai onto Spirit. Misses out on the Shuriken, but he's going to run for the base anyway.
Why did he flash? He didn't. I tell a lie. He used the shadow. Shadow dash. Dev's going to catch him on. What are Cloud9 doing? Are they going to try and pull something off this while he pulls their attention? Pull 3 people to the top. They can't get anything, but they do get a little bit of ward control in their own jungle.
They know that their time is run out, and they know this is why they commend Blue so often for their late game planning. Think about it coming into this game. Not only the team that they set up, but also the item paths that they took for everybody. So many answers. It's just really hard for Cloud9 to do anything now.
I just like, they're onto my tricks.
Yeah, they've got me figured out.
So push down middle here from Samsung Blue. Baron buff still ticking away. Get rid of some of those wards. Cloud9 got out on that last little merry wander from high on the top side of the map. Looks like they're going to be going for the bottom side. Minion wave is already there. And Dade, with that Lich Bane, is absolutely wrecking those towers. They try and hold them back. The equalizer will be enough to force Cloud9 off. Ball's going to get locked up by the gold card. He will walk away, but the inhibitor won't be so lucky because it's got no legs.
Clean execution from Samsung Blue. They're going to do the same again, I think. They've got the minion wave coming in a moment. They can take themselves
Deft has legs.
Second inhibitor. Deft is trying to sneak around again. 7-8. What a reaction from Deft, of course. And 9-10 for Dade. Of course, a lot of these kills have been picked up solo as well. But with the Baron buff still on them, they keep on pushing. Dark Binding lands, but not a lot of follow-up. And Spirit happy to just get the regen from that Baron. Deft really wants to make something. He wants someone to go down the bottom, and High may well take the bait. He's not risking going too far out the base.
And I like how Deft often upgrades his boots as well, so he can get that lower cooldown on his flash when he's playing Twitch, so that he can reposition, start out in a very dangerous spot, open up and force the enemy team into an engage, and then flash to reposition. Opens up more playmaking ability so that Dade doesn't have to be the only one.
Equalizer's back in his second. That's going to be the play. There's the equalizer going down. Spray and pray on balls. He will get dropped. Meteor's the next focus. He will go down. Surely in a second. High going to run away. He's on the tower all on his own. He's got nowhere to go. Double kill for Deft. Now High's going to try and read them away while the rest of the team, they're just taking down the base. Samsung Blue, ace in there. No, sneaky last man standing, I tell a lie. He snuck away to the fountain. Not sneaky enough though, you can't stop. 5 members of Samsung Blue. Oh, flash play from Hart, not missing.
It's going to give Cloud9 some hope for the next game. This one though looks like it'll be 1-1.
Absolutely, Samsung Blue, dominant control in this game, no doubt about it. The hook, sneaky goes down, there's the ace, and there's the Nexus. We're all square, ladies and gentlemen. What a piece as Samsung Blue strike back in front of their home Korean crowd.
And that just makes this best of 5 all the more exciting, tied up after 2 games. And after those 2 games, we can definitely say that this game could go either way. Despite a loss here, Cloud9, they had some very bright moments, and still what I like, a lot of teams, when they fall that far behind, will just say, we're done. They roll over and die. Cloud9 here,
they
still trying right.
They do a barrel roll to the side and try and sneak around you. Try and get deep to that inhibitor, but didn't work out this time.
1-10-1, that's not the really Z stats you want to look at for High, despite, of course, the shenanigans he was trying out there. Before a lot of that began, he was already on a bit of a slide before that happened, so pick and bans could very well be interesting going in. Of course, they're going to be back on the red side in the next matchup. How do we see this one now? All square, mindset, completely set. Forget it, you're in a best of 3 now. Forget where you're a best of 5.
Don't forget, because they learned things in the first 2 games.
They do.
So you want to remember those. And thinking back to this game, Cloud9, they got fed Zed. I mean, they got it handed to them in picks and bans. And Blue obviously had such a good plan to deal with it. I mean, everybody built some way to answer it. All of their carries built something to answer it. They played the early team fights exceptionally well, and they had that exhaust for the early parts when they didn't have all the answers, the Zanyas and things like that. They had High sequestered away from the rest of the team, exhaust them and kill them.
And that's the thing, right? Once you get to a certain stage, the Zed has got such limited options that, you know, 3 or 4 deaths can quickly just turn into, well, 10 in this case, when you're just trying to make plays happen. And, well, if anything, I definitely tried to make things happen this game. Let's move it all the way back and to, you know, different areas of this game. Sneaky versus Deft. Obviously, game 1 was all about Sneaky, but Deft this time around showing a lot more comfort, I'd say, on the Rat. And we saw him constantly in that mid lane specifically trying to pick people off.
That's it. He was the one that actually baited all the fights. That started it all off. There was the big top lane where they drew all them in, got a couple of kills. And then, of course, that mid lane where we saw High going in. Should have realized, hang on a minute, this is a little bit too easy, and the rest of Samsung Blue claps around. That's where the fights happen. That's where the gold started to swing their way. We're going to head over towards the analyst desk, ladies and gentlemen, for a closer look at game 2.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll actually get to that replay later in the discussion, D-Man, but for now, let's go back to picks and bans. Balls with a fairly early lock-in of that Maokai. I feel like he didn't have the biggest impact during the course of the matchup, whether or not you agree or disagree with that, but something that definitely was countered well was high Zed. It felt like Samsung Blue had a good answer to that.
Yeah, before we talk a little bit about picks and bans, I wanted to just say that Blue, in terms of just their champion selection this game, they went back to their comfort picks. We talked about Acorn. He's only played 2 games ever previously on Italy. Rumble's his most played champion of all time. We talk about Hart. Thresh is his most played champion of all time. Yeah, he had it again this game like he did last game. And of course, Dade is renowned for his TF play. The crowd went nuts when he locked in TF.
Yeah, the Elise for Meteor, 0-2 this tournament. Elise 5-10. We can take that graphic down for the time being as we move on the discussion. Let's talk about some of the early game. Nowhere near as dominant for Cloud9 this time around. They got those head-to-head lanes once more, which I wasn't necessarily expecting. Crepper, how is Cloud9 playing early game?
I think Cloud9 started pretty strong, but something I want to highlight of what Blue did well is their Black Shield manipulation. So we saw it in the bot lane in the first time in a 2v2 where Hart basically flays one target back, fakes the hook on one target, and he will aim it at, so he will force Lemon Nation to Black Shield sneaky, and then the hook will go towards Lemon Nation. Yeah, you say that's standard Thresh into Morgana play, but the second time, the beauty really was when Dade teleported bottom, he teleported slightly behind Lemon Nation, and Lemon Nation, I think it's like land scares or he was black shielding for another reason, but he black shielded early. Dade waited out, locked in gold card, but then sent out his wild cards, procced the Morgana shield, and then stunned Morg right after. And just the awareness of black shield, not only in those instances, you have it in many other fights, but it's always in these little things, shows that why they're so good at this game, because those nitty-gritty things get me all way too excited sometimes.
We've got 2 replays to get to, so Freak will get to yours just after this point. Let's pull the first top lane play up. And Monty, I know you wanted to comment on this interaction between Balls and Acorn.
Right. This was right after Dade had died in the mid lane to High. And, you know, in League of Legends, there's always an advantage you can get somewhere else. And he's going to use it, that free base that he got. You know, he didn't die. It's just a free base. But to actually make a play here on the Dragon. So Cloud9's going for the Dragon. Let's watch what happens and roll this as we get into the top lane here. Now, Balls didn't see the initial teleport, and if he had flashed, he would have made it, but you don't think about flashing at that time. The base that Dade got allows him to just combine with that Rumble ultimate. I mean, just fantastic coordination, but with every kind of loss in League of Legends, there's also another opportunity.
And this game felt like it was built off of, just kind of like the Samsung White versus TSM games, a whole bunch of very small individual incremental advantages. Meteos, you actually heard Danny talk about it, Elise versus Kha'Zix. You've got to make the moves early on. You've got to do more than your opponent. First Blood, good job Meteos. Showing up top, nearly worked out. All the ganks nearly work out, but Dade's there every single time. Or the TP comes down for Rumble in time and turns it around. There were like a half dozen in a row of Samsung Blue just turning it around. And you saw how well Samsung Blue fought with a gold parity or gold advantage, and I talked about that with the last game, like, oh, how close they fought despite the deficit. What I meant was, as soon as they get gold parity, look how strong they're going to be, and you're seeing it here.
And just like you said, the TPs that they're using, like we have a replay right now just showing how great Samsung Blue's TP usage was. If you can pull that up, that'd be good. Anyways,
I know that feeling, Peter.
Like D-Man was saying, Deft is the one who's baiting C9 into all these fights. So you can roll it right now. You can see he's just doing a standard Twitch gank down. But what's not standard about it is just this amazing coordination. Heart's on the right with a Lantern. Potentially, I think Deft kind of misplaced by flashing away from the Lantern. But you see, Acorn immediately TP's in. Dade is right on point with that TF port. And there's no reason for Balls to have chased this Deathmark Twitch. He actually kind of suicided and baited his entire team. Heart with this amazing flash hook, and just everyone just gets cleaned up right here by Samsung Blue, because Acorn's damage at this point is on a huge spike. He's on his Leandri's Sword Shoes spike, and it's just impossible to teamfight this.
I think it's just really good to see how well Blue plays in regards to picks. They pick really well, and they respond to picks so well. Dade is always ready to move, even especially when he plays TF, he will always teleport in. And that's what baffled me the most about Game 1. They ran a poke composition when their strength lies around reading the map, reacting to picks, or just picking people off themselves. So I hope, for Blue's sake, that they stick to it. I hope for Cloud9's sake that we see another rendition of the poke comp.
Well, very, very strong play from Samsung Blue. They bounced back from a very heavy loss in Game 1. Cloud9 looked rattled in this particular game. Double, if maybe talk to me about the individual misplays we saw that we didn't see in Game 1. What was different this time around?
I'm glad you asked that, because I think last game was a really big misrepresentation of how strong Cloud9's early game was. It really snowballed off of that first blood, and Heart had 10 deaths in the first game. This game, he had 0. So they didn't really, were not able to snowball this game off of Heart's missed positions like they were in the first game. And I think Samsung Blue just had a way better picks and bans phase. TF is historically a big counter to Zed because when he's split pushing, TF has that global pressure.
All right, so we do have to move on to the social media segment. Earlier in the show, we asked you guys what's been your favorite moment from Worlds so far and why. And we got a ton of great responses. Thank you very much. It was not difficult to narrow them down, but it was just a brief sample of what you've been saying. From My Name is Lyroot, the heart-stopping moment when Fnatic was a hit away from advancing on, had to break out the defibrillator after that one. We'll just rattle through these. At OmniSynced, my favorite moment has got to be Cloud9 shouting, "This is for Kaboom," when they were Najin White Shield's Nexus. And I know Freak actually mentioned that this morning. And then at Doc Anime, he tweets, Team Solo Mid killing Samsung White in the level 1 invade during game 3. Shows that even gods can be killed when complacent.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah, and we even had a great moment here as well. High going full Sam Fisher. It proved that he didn't have to play AD carry to be sneaky this game. Or maybe that he grew up in San Francisco because he knew how to play with Fog so well. Crepo, you have any...
Do you want to carry on? Do you want to carry on? Full ninja? Right, anyway. Yeah, we're all done. Guys,
off, boys.
Thank you for sending those to us. And remember that you can tweet your fellow World Championship fans throughout the games by using the hashtag Worlds. We'll take a break in the action. And as we go, Cloud9 talks about the surprising victory from Kaboom over Alliance that catapulted them into the quarterfinals.
On the last day of groups, we were in our practice room actually. When Kaboom was playing Alliance, we were scrimming OMG, I believe.
We basically assumed that Alliance had the game won, so we weren't really paying too much attention to it. We knew that we had to beat Najin, and that would force a 3-way tie.
We were gonna hope for the 3-way tie, and we were kind of a little bit sad about that. We have to beat Alliance and Najin again.
We all knew what it meant if Kaboom managed to pull off a miracle. We didn't think it would actually happen, but in the back of our heads, like, oh, what if this happens? It'll be amazing for us.
Representing Brazil, of course, it is Kaboom Esports. And their opponent on the red side is Alliance from the European LCS.
We were doing okay in the scrim, but then Balls just got super distracted and started watching the stream. He's like, wow, guys, Kaboom's winning. We're all just trying to be like, dude, like, Alliance is probably going to win anyway. Stop watching that, focus on our game.
Balls was probably the one that was paying the least amount of attention to the scrim, and he also said throughout the entire week that Kaboom was going to beat Alliance on their last day.
Since I was watching the match, I ended up dying because I wasn't paying attention to my champion. I thought that since this Kaboom's last game, that they're going to go really big, and that no one's going to expect it, not even Alliance.
The charm catches on Wicked. T-Nose goes in. He's got him. He takes him down. Kaboom are destroying Alliance. I cannot believe this right now.
As the game progressed, it was really funny. You could see they were no longer paying attention to the scrim with OMG and just watching Kaboom win.
The second Nexus turret is almost about to go down. That is Alliance down. Kaboom, they flick the fuse, and I can't believe it, D-Man. Kaboom takes the game over Alliance. What the hell just happened?
I'm pretty sure half the venue could like hear us screaming.
It was something we never thought was possible at that point in time.
Wow, if we beat Najin, we don't even have to do a tiebreaker to get out of group.
We basically did have the mindset of, if we win this next game, we make it to groups.
Cloud9 off to the side falls. He's going to be the focus, but he flashes. Goon misses. Oh, they've got a charm high though. He will put down his death mark. Goon uses his own. Gorilla lower the back. Sneaky coming around after using his QSN. It's going to be Cloud9 to win this one. They take out one. They're going to Zephyr. They get it.
This is for Kaboom. This is for Kaboom.
Cloud9 picking up a massive victory over Najin White Shield. It of course also means Alliance are out of the World Championships.
Since Kaboom beat Alliance, that one was for them.
조별 예선에서 좀 많이 이런 점들이 있었던 것 같아요. 이제 패배를 하면서 좀 우리 팀이 또 다시 한번 성장을 한 느낌도 들고, 하지만 좀 아직까지 그렇게 막 만족스러운 실력은 아니지만 계속 연습하면은 충분히 이제 더 잘해질 거라고 생각하고요. 그리고
Welcome back to the 2014 League of Legends World Championship. Samsung Blue responded in force during the last matchup, tying things up 1-1. And as you heard in that little video there, they definitely weren't happy with their strength. They might be after that previous performance. Doublelift, you were talking about Hart in Game 2. Talk to me about him going into Game 3 now.
Yeah, for me, he's kind of the emotional pillar. He's kind of that older brother figure I had heard from multiple people that on Samsung Blue, because they're all kind of young, except for Dade. He went 2-11-3 in Game 1, and he had the mental fortitude to bounce back after feeding super hard. Game 2 died 0 times, 1-0-20. I mean, this guy is really, really good.
What I like most is that he keeps making plays to try and come back into the game. All of the plays that he almost died for in Game 1 were virtually 1-for-1s or pretty close to 1v1s, and they only were that much different because Cloud9 was that far ahead. You saw Game 2, once he's actually equal, as Freaks pointed out on gold parity, those plays turn into 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills. He leaves his lane, goes top, goes mid. He doesn't care where he goes. He influences the map almost in a way Mala does, just Mala light, let's call him that.
And Freak.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of players who are have to come back here, High 1-10-1 last game. I think C9 feel like they have to get ahead in the first 15 minutes. They're trying to make individual plays. If they work, they're fine, but High's obviously backfired in Game 2.
Yeah, really not working for him. The players are ready for Game 3. Let's see how High handles himself as we move on to the ref. We're going to throw things over to D-Man and the casters to get match 3 underway.
Thank you very much. Quick shot. So, Game 3. Where do we go, ladies and gentlemen? We've seen the poke comp. That didn't work. And then Samsung Blue revert back to the tried and tested method, which is basically get Def going, get Dade going, and destroy.
Yeah, let's talk about what they learned in the first 2 games. As you said, the poke comp, they're not going to do that anymore. The second game, Blue just completely baited Cloud9 in both of their solo lane picks. Baited Cloud9 into first picking the mid lane. Zed is picked for the split pushing. Then they pick TF to smash split pushing. Then they pick up Maokai for team fighting. Rumble counterpick to smash him for team fighting. So blow for blow, Blue constantly counterpicking Cloud9 on the red side there, which we thought Blue side was going to be a really big issue in this matchup. But turns out red side has been the winners both times.
Well, we're going to find out if that trend can continue, because Cloud9 will now move back over onto the red side in this one. Where are they going to go? How are the bans going to change? Lucian banned again by Samsung Blue. That was a ban in game number 2 after Sneaky went crazy on it in game number 1. Alistair continues to be banned here by Blue. On the other side, it's not that much different. Yasuo taken away. There is a Zed ban this time, and it comes from Cloud9.
That's been their strategy against Dade, is cover up both of those 2 champions. Those are the 2 that they do focus on when playing against him. Last time it was banning 1, picking 1, and the first time around it was having both banned out as well.
Let's see whether the Zillion gets through. I got a feeling Cloud9 won't ban it this time. Samsung Blue are considering it. Maokai, of course, also on the cards. It's a Thresh ban.
Lemon has not played Thresh.
Yeah. That makes no sense.
They've been highly prioritizing Thresh this whole time, so they may have a little hole in the research that they've done on Lemon Nation.
Well, Zillion was banned out here by Cloud9.
But the same thing for Cloud9. They've got a little hole here too.
Boom, there we go. That's going to get locked in straight away. That's the one that snuck through the pick and bans. It does, of course, mean that Kha'Zix is available for Meteos, but at least in lock-in the first time we're going to see it, and Spirit very happy. You can see the big grin on his face for that one.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, it's been pushed out of the way so many times here. We'll see if that's going to come back to on Cloud9. They're not getting rid of that Lee Sin for a 3rd game in a row. Leaves a lot of options open to them here, though. For example, Rise, which Balls did very well with in game number 1. Will he want to pick that up this early on, considering the fact that Acorn not really played a whole lot of Rise in the past? Will they think about supports now with Thresh gone? is Morgana that much of a priority? I think it still would be the way that Lemon Nation's been playing it.
He's also a really big fan of Janna right now too. So it really does depend on the rest of their team comp that they're trying to go with this time. Taking a long time to lock him in. There it is. Okay, so they do go for it again. I do really like to switch for high, actually, mostly for this Cloud9 lock-in, making him have a little bit of a safer champion. So he doesn't dive in and go for those super risky plays. Now, that being said, last time we saw him on Syndra, he was flashing forward for long-range Syndra stuns. So he still tries to make plays on this Syndra. It's just, it's not 100% commitment. So we'll see if he's able to stay with a bit more of an even keel this time around.
Well, of course, Rumble is still on the table, as is Rise. We'll see whether there's a top lane pick, whether they fancy the AD carry support route at the moment. I'm pretty certain it's not going to be Nasus and Teemo. We're waiting to see what they change to. Of course, Maokai came through last time. Balls had that. Didn't work out so well for him. And Corki, a big favorite of Def's in the group stage, had incredible KDA on it, honestly, 76.9 overall, 22-10 on Corki if he locks this one in just 2 games. That is crazy, but it could be. No! For a minute, I thought N-Rated was going to be redeemed and Sona was going to get locked in, but it's Braum once again.
So here's the thing. Blue, they're going to answer this sort of long-range defensive first 2 round picks of Cloud9 with hard engage for themselves. So they lock in a ridiculous front line for Blue here with very, very hard engage. Because when you're already looking at Syndra and Janna, there's a possibility to go extremely highly range damage with this team and play that sort of kite around composition that Shield really made popular. But Blue lock in that answer, so they've already got this really beastly front line that if gets going, it's really hard to stop, especially for those mid-game team fights.
So for Cloud9 then, taking their time once again, will they take the AD carry here for Sneaky to go along with Lemon Nation's Janna? No, they won't. It's going to be the top lane and jungle. Rumble for Balls and Kha'Zix for Meteos.
So Rumble, this time it's Balls' turn to see if he can deliver. And of course, we do know that maybe he's going to push towards the mid-game. Maybe Cloud9 can get that early start like they did in Game 1 over Samsung Blue. Of course, AD carry is still on the cards for Sneaky. We'll see which way he falls. Of course, we're waiting to see which way Samsung Blue are going to fall. And he talked about that big tanky front line. Not too sure about a Jace going in there. It's a case of who do you want as AD carry? Deft, Fancy, Vayne? Would be the first time this tournament we see him play it.
They need a high damage champion. They have a lot of tank, but they really need Def to carry the DPS. As we've said so many times, he is half of the DPS for this team, especially towards that late game.
That's a lot of damage.
Offering here, yeah. Not exactly decided here, but as we tick down, we are going to see Corki and a very last-second switch to Jace. I had a feeling that was going to happen, which is why I was dragging out my sentence as long as possible. It was a last-second switch to the Jace here for Dade up against High Syndra, a rematch of Game 1, actually.
Yeah, and it didn't work out for them that well the first time around. High was fine in the matchup 1 versus 1, and then Dade didn't get to add a whole lot to the team fights either. This time around, though, it's a bit of poke, but they don't have a lot of extra poke to go with it. I mean, it's Corki and Jace firing missiles and shock blasts pretty much all day, but Cloud9 have a lot of range damage here. They locked in the Rumble after that Janna plus Syndra combo, so if Syndra lands one of those line stuns, then Rumble could just lay the full ultimate right down on top of it, too. It means that Cloud9 have very good team fighting in jungle pathways.
Big grin on Sneaky's face. What's he going to lock in for the AD carry? Will it be the Tristana? Whoa, Graves! First time in this tournament we've seen it. Did obviously come out throughout the summer in the LCS.
Talking about burst line damage here. If they fight in a corridor, that's a lot of ultimate damage they can throw down.
This is a big deal. Sneaky never played this in the summer at all. So he has not played this at a pro level in a tournament match for a very long time.
Right. Whenever we do say these things, obviously these guys practice as pros. Yeah, all the champions in solo queue. But yeah, it does add a lot of shoving potential for their lane as well. Graves, very easy to shove your lane with Buckshot, especially when it gets the extra AD from Janna shields early on. And that's a really good thing to do against Braum. try and get him under the turret, try and get him pushed in.
Well, we'll see how this one works out. Of course, it is game 3. We are about to get it underway here. 1-1 all square if you've just joined us, and good morning Europe. If you've got up really early, then well done you guys in England. Of course, I know we started at 6 a.m. their time, and some crazy hour of the morning for the Americans. You guys at home, of course, been tuning in by the bucket loads throughout this World, and we've had some fantastic games throughout this World, so why not? This is a great best of 5, and I got a feeling, you know, this may well go all 5 games.
So I actually made a little prediction earlier on in the day for Cloud9 to win this game. I'm not going to reveal what exactly that prediction was because I'm a little bit scared of, you know, the questions. I'll reveal if they actually do win.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Of course, while this game is starting up, head over to Twitter. And don't forget to let us know who you think has the edge here. Use the hashtag SSBWin or C9Win. And of course, don't forget to include at LOL Esports, and we'll keep track of your votes. So, game number 3. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in Busan, South Korea, in front of a home audience for Samsung Blue. Can they deliver to the home crowd, or will Cloud9 put another monkey wrench in their plans?
I don't know. I'm actually fairly worried what Meteos will be doing in the team fights in this setup here, because Braum and Maokai are very hard to play against as Kazakhs. You have to be sure you're getting a kill for a reset if you go in. Maokai's so good at peeling melee carries. Makes it very hard, and Meteos will probably be evolving his spike rack very early on to go more poke-oriented Kazakhs.
At the moment, Samsung Blue going for a big invade here. Going in numbers in towards this blue area. We'll see whether they give up anything, because you can see, of course, that Meteos is doing the same. He's got balls alongside him, so they've gone for a blue ward as well. So both teams, they've traded for the last 2 games, honestly.
Things going down.
Yeah, we'll see whether they catch him out. We do see Samsung Blue had vision of Cloud9. They know that they're around there, so they know it's a full-on trade. At the moment, we do see Sneakies in that bottom lane. Are we going to see a lane swap here for the first time from Samsung Blue?
Looks like they are going to at least get a ward down here. They are going to continue with that delayed. Nope.
Almost.
What a bait.
Almost. Seems like a full recall will be coming out of there. Just a quick kind of Graves fact here. We did see him all the way back in Taiwan in the group stage, where AHQ did play Garnet Devil, winning that game against Dark Passage. It actually was with the Graves. I saw the stats at the start. I'm like, I don't remember a Graves, but it was all the way back where it feels like a lifetime by now.
Never question the stat, guys, that's for sure. Cloud9,
there's
they're
the
on
delayed invade. Ha! Other side.
They're going to go head-to-head, it seems. Hearts ready and waiting. It's a base check from Lemonation. He gets locked up and taken down by Spirit. It's not done yet. Dade catches on Sneaky. There's the exhaust. Heart tries to lock him up, and they are running away. He's going to get stunned out. Sneaky goes down. It's a 2 for 0, and a tragic, tragic start for Cloud9.
So remember last game, at the beginning of the game, when you said to me, hey, Cloud9, they're late invading with their duo every single time, and that's a pattern somebody might be able to capitalize on.
Oh, no.
Blue did. Meteos now going to try and chase him off his blue, though.
They're going to try and catch on Heart. They're going to lock on towards him to slow us down, but Def comes around as well. Phosphorus Bomb reacts. Have they got enough damage? I don't think they can even take down the support, but the cow when the support comes in. In comes Lemonation. In comes High. They gift him a kill, and they get one back.
Well, what a start to
No
game
buffs have been
3.
taken yet, guys.
Yeah, they're still going to fight for this one. They're still going to move over to that red buff. And Meteos is like, well, we lost 2 guys here before, but we'll fight it back and we'll steal your red buff no matter what you say.
Now, this is a game where you really want to pay attention to the junglers, how they react to a weird, awkward start like this, because they are going to be a bit behind. You do get catch-up experience, though, updated constantly with the both buffs. So let's see here, though. He focuses down bottom.
Meteos, he's spotted by the ward, but there was good zoning coming out from Sneaky and Lemonation down the bottom lane because, of course, Deft was on his own early. We'll see whether that pays out, whether it works, and whether we'll even get to look at it.
Well, Spirit continues to fight on that top side, and when I say fight, I mean have a fight with the Wraiths, which he'll obviously be taken away pretty easily. Meteos, in the meantime, did back away onto his own blue buff there at the start, but Dade not finished, might try for a cheeky little shock blast here. Won't be enough though, because Meteos has already smited that one down, so he will get his 2 buffs from the start. Same will happen for Spirit, but it'll just take him a little bit longer to finish off that blue.
Yep, because they know that they've exchanged the first buffs, then you just continue to jungle on the top or bottom side of the map, whichever ones your opponent did not start on. Spirit did the correct thing. Also taking away one of the camps, counter-jungling those wraiths a bit before he moves over to his top side, because he has no idea what Meteos has left him inside his own jungle.
So you can see, of course, Sneaky will have the bigger numbers. Deft was zoned out at the start, but he will be able to play catch-up here. I mean, this is a very long time since we've seen his matchup. Dade taking some damage from high. Sneaky on the Graves with Lemonation on Janna. Janna, of course, coming into favor at Worlds, or just before it, if you were to obviously look towards Gorilla, against a Jinx, I was about to say a Jinx for some reason, a Corki and a Braum. So who has the advantage in this head-to-head?
As we said, this is a pretty decent matchup here. Graves does want to try and buckshot through the minions and hit for harass at the same time to try and shove here. There we go. He does get a successful buckshot. Also able to dodge the Q there from Corki. A lot about skill shots this one.
Woo!
In comes a gank though. It sets it up pretty well with the exhaust.
I'm not sure they can finish this, but here comes Spirit from the back. He's landed the Q, but he went to Lemonation. That means turret hits and a couple of auto attacks back as well. And it was a right in theory from Samsung Blue, but they couldn't quite do it in practice.
Meanwhile, Cloud9 has spent a lot of resources up top side to clear out that ward, and Lemon getting in trouble.
Lemon this time in trouble. Has got the Flash Ignite. Will just try and bring them in, but of course, that top lane, as you mentioned, Meteos and High, they were up there, but they got saw by the ward, and that's given Spirit the chance to go in, counter jungle, and steal away some of Meteos' wraiths.
And lay a lot of vision down there as well. Now, all Braum lanes, they do depend a lot on very aggressive moves like that. With the exhaust being down, that is going to open up some time for Cloud9, because the Flash from Heart was also used early on in that level 1. Sneaky, though, doesn't have any summoners left to himself. And Cloud9 have really decided to go with that strategy of trying to get their top lane Rumble ahead of the Maokai for that team fighting power. We've seen this quite often with the Rumble picks into Maokai, where a team focuses on getting that Rumble ahead for the team fight, but bottom revisit for Cloud.
Oh, very, very good from Lemonation there. Howl and Gale knocks him up, waited for that Unbreakable to finish and catches him out. Sneaky is still taking burst damage though. Heart is going to back away. And this is all happening. And Meteos is simply not being called into action. He's being covered, he's been tracked. You can see ward coverage there. They're pinging out his direction, so they know that he's nearby, so I expect Samsung Blue to step down. But look at Acorn, he's making moves on High.
High just barely backing off in time there. And also, Meteos, by the way, he did clear out that pink ward that Spirit left behind very early on, which is very important, because that's not a bush you often check in your own jungle.
No, we saw that in group stages, funnily enough, that pink ward became pretty instrumental in a lot of things, as Dade going to be stunned up here by High, both of them level 6, which of course is going to mean a lot more for High at this stage, once he gets that big burst to come through, if he can get Dade low enough if he wants to get involved in that. Both top laners are, of course, both level 6 as well, with a slight advantage in CS for Acorn over Balls, but still a lot to be decided on that top side of the map. Interestingly, a second Doran's Ring there for Acorn, so that'll slightly delay us. We haven't seen Deft here diving in on top of Sneaky. Heart getting up there as well, but Sneaky just saying, no, I'll just dodge out and you'll not be able to stun me.
Quite a beautiful sidestep there. He had very little distance to work with.
Holding on to that flash as well. Has gone back, gets himself the BF sword. That's what he wanted. That's what he was delaying for. Deft, of course, has already been back and got himself that phage, so we'll see how it works out for them. Lemonation will get some ward control in that river area. As actually, Samsung Blue keep pushing up. They're going to get their own wards down. Heart going deep on this one. And actually, he's going to pull a ward down and spot it. Meteos ready. He's going to go for it. Heart's going to be the focus.
Oh, can they finish him though? Death came in as well. Meteos knew that 2 auto attacks would have stunned him up. Lemonation comes around. The Howling Gale knocks off Death, but there's no follow through here from Cloud9.
Spirit going to try and make a play in the top lane as well, but that was pinged out. Balls spotted it early enough, has got the equalizer, so it's very dangerous to dive him now, and they're not going to risk it.
Balls has been doing a great job laning this entire series because he hasn't getting a lot of attention from the jungle, and he's been keeping himself safe, buying a lot of his own wards, and still staying up there in CS. Meanwhile, Spirit still on the top side. Spirit has placed a lot of wards inside this Cloud9 blue side jungle, trying to take control of it. But the bottom side of the map here, this matchup between Corki and Graves, is about 2 caster AD carries. And at level 6, Graves gets a huge bunch of bursts, whereas Corki gets a lot of poke damage and laning power. So right now, it could be explosive for Cloud9 if they bring down a mid laner or a jungle for a gank. Graves has a very, very explosive follow-up to it.
High unknowingly and unwittingly avoiding a gank there. He saw Spirit, he was stood on Wraiths, ready awaiting, but the blue was up. So High was like, I'm just going to trot on over here. The fact that he was already at 3rd health. If he'd have stuck around in lane, I'm pretty sure we would have seen Spirit launching himself across with that Sonic Wave.
And it is something that Cloud9 are very good at when they know that they've ceded one side of the map to the other jungler. They really do a good job of working around it. You can see Minos often tries to get his vision consolidated on the southern half of the map here, whereas they really treat this northern half as a dangerous area in sort of Samsung territory. Sneaky gets engaged on.
Could be a problem for him. Deft hitting level 6 here, so will he go through there? His Spirit TP gonna come down from Balls, and that sends Samsung Blue completely away from that bottom lane. They've surely just got to go Dragon now with that TP down.
That's also miscommunication because Lemon flashed away while Balls teleported in, and is gonna have to go back here. Really, really big summoner not going to be available for a crucial moment in the game. The Dragon fights at the 11-minute mark here. This is going to be really, really interesting how Cloud9 work around this. Balls canceled his back, and he's sticking down here. They may try and force Acorn's teleport down.
5 members are there. Sneaky sidesteps. Still, as you mentioned, Balls is there. They are giving up a hell of a lot in that top lane right now. High comes around. Dade's going to get caught. No, doesn't land the stun. He gets himself away. Exhaust on Sneaky. There's the equalizer. That's what they were waiting for. Quick Monsoon comes out. Can they get the kill, though? That's the question. Heart's going to get away from this one. One more hit. Balls goes in. Balls gets it. He's kicked straight back in towards the tower, though. He's taking too many tower hits. He has to get away. He gets counteracted. Acorn's in. He goes down. High comes in. Gets himself a kill. Acorn goes down. Dade can clean up, though. Cloud9 are all so low. One more shock blast. Can he land it? He's going to try and line it up. What a stun from High. That will save Cloud9. They won't get the Dragon, but they do get 2 kills.
That is just so smart from Cloud9, working around the teleport disadvantage. Sneaky and Lemon do a miraculous... He doesn't have his ult anymore because he used it on Deft. Okay, so Sneaky and Lemon did a miraculous job of baiting in that baiting in that bottom lane aggression for Balls, because if they hadn't been able to do that, they would have been in a really, really tough spot. All that being said, though, with Cloud9 coming out with the kills, we have seen so many times, even if you come out with the kills, everybody's low on health. Blue are able to take the objective after, so they come out ahead in gold. Very close exchange, though.
Such a tense match so far, and we saw as Dade came to that bottom lane, what just stripped the health bars with, I think, a 4 or 5 man at that point. Shock blast right into the middle of them. Signaled the retreat from Cloud9, or at least half of the retreat, as High nearly got caught by it underneath his own turret. Actually, they need to be careful here. Deft is going to be pushed. We've got Lemon Nation coming from the side. Mobility boots on the Zephyr will slow him down, but he couldn't get on the other side. Had no Monsoon to knock him back either way.
And really, Cloud9, they made the best of a bad situation. Like you said, the teleport was used early. Balls made it count. He stuck around for a very long time, losing experience in that bush, in which, of course, Acorn did make up for. Teleported down in the end, but he got himself a big chunk of farm while he was having a free reign in that top lane. We are still seeing, though, Cloud9 keeping the pressure on, and Meteos and High, they're looking for more. Dade's going to walk into a trap.
Ooh, can he get him? He's right next to him.
There's the stun. Dade, though, has he got the damage? He does. High gets the kill. There is Spirit coming around the side. Gets the shutdown. Will get up onto the ward as well to get away. That would have been a lot cleaner if Meteos would have gone over the wall.
The few seconds that it cost them with Meteos not jumping in for the extra damage actually cost High his life because they weren't able to finish off Dottie in time.
Lemonation having to use his ultimate to save his life there. The Monsoon is now down. Def's going to make across. Sneak is the target, but they're still putting it down. Sneak has damage. Can they trade it back? They can! Sneaky gets on towards him. Now Hart's going to get found out. He gets one more hit. One more shot should do it. The Zephyr, he doesn't want to steal it. The Unbreakable goes down. Meteos still he comes in. Sneaky! Just about hangs on. Woo! This game is once again delivering in this best of 5.
Now, Cloud9's bottom lane made that even more exciting than it had to be by not initially just jumping on the Braum. All right, let's watch it from the beginning, though. As we said, the burst from Graves catches a lot of people off guard. He still has his ult this whole time during this exchange. Braum trying to get passive procs on both of them. Hits up hitting Sneaky, but the ult misses. Doesn't get the knock-up. And there's that burst that catch. Now, this is the point where I thought Sneaky played it a little bit passively. He walked a bit backwards instead of forwards, but Lemon breaks the shield. Then they go in for the kill, and Sneaky sticks around to fight these minions. He gets the level up with his buckshot and last auto attack. Woo! More exciting.
Oh, in trouble though. He's going to face shake right into Spirit there. There's the kick coming in, and well, the equalizer went down. Both still alive for the
beautiful.
Spirit gets his rampage. 4-0-1 now.
Great play from Spirit. Down bottom though, just a little invade with the duo, jungle and support trying to get some ward coverage down. As we said, Cloud9, they see the top side of the map and they try and control the bottom side. Replenish their ward coverage down there and they collapse on Deft, not in time.
Yeah, Def gets away, gets himself the Triforce. It's an Infinity Edge for Sneaky as well and may well be the advantage for Cloud9. Top turret goes down, trading towers, one apiece, and the gold is just 300 between them, but Cloud9, they are delivering, but Samsung Blue, we've seen how strong they can be once they get a roll on. And they are looking pretty confident right now. The jungle is very much in Cloud9's control, and they're still putting pressure on this tower.
Trying to bait them to step forward there. Another good Howling Gale over the top of the wall from Lemon Nation. No real opportunity. Actually, High looked like he was trying to come down, was pinged out, and there's a lot, as you said, deep wards here for Cloud9 to move around between bottom and middle.
And Cloud9, they're solo laners right now. To the next team fight that breaks out, they're going to bring quite a lot more because of the itemization choices. Rumble has hit your favorite point in the game, D-Man, where he's got both of those items for the flat penetration, whereas Maokai with the stacking Rod of Ages, and Jace does the same thing. He's still stacking his tier. Syndra has gone for the Morellonomicon, very early power spike. Everybody focusing on this mid lane. They're trying to make something happen.
Balls finds Spirit in the jungle, but High was building up to use his ultimate for so long there, and Dade, he's just wanted to catch him out constantly in that bush, in the side control. The rest of the team were waiting to pounce. They want to make a move on this middle turret. They all keep grouping there, but instead they're going to step away. Dade just keeps on clearing that wave after wave. High, once again, is sneaking around the side. They're going to go for the stun. Is he going to land it? Dade backs away, but it could well be the turret. No, teleport from Acorn.
I got caught in the jungle.
Oh, he's surely dead. Spirit coming in. Sapling is down. Acorn down to the back. There is a big blast from down there as well. Can they chase here? The Q from Hart doesn't land, and that basically means they can't follow through on kills. But can they get the tower?
Spirit able to catch out High there. That's why Blue wanted to re-engage. Great job. They pick up the kill, and they gain control of mid lane.
Very well worked there. Cloud9 though reacted. They didn't all dive in this time around, but had Def been there, that could have been cleanup duty, and Samsung Blue could have taken a lot more from it. Cloud9, they need to thank themselves. Lucky they only lost the tower for that one.
Well, let's have a look at the overall picture, something that we've not really looked at, 'cause it's been a crazy one so far. 7-6 in kills, a Cloud9 up 2,000 or even just 1,200 gold that separates the two teams as a whole. And obviously, the Dragon is coming up in 10. This is a big one for how this game is going to be shaping up in the next few minutes.
Well, Cloud9 need to get themselves together. They've been trying to make plays, but they have been countered by Samsung Blue, and now with the Dragon available.
The thing is, for Cloud9, they traded Teleport Summoner Spell, Teleport Advantage for that kill and for that mid turret. They're not really going to make use of it here with everybody just grouping up, but they will have Rumble there for the beginning of the fight. So if Blue group up and they catch him in a corridor, and remember about that line damage from Cloud9.
The Unbreakable goes down, forces Hard to wait. Remember, there's no tower in the bottom, but the rest of Samsung Blue do push down the mid lane, and Cloud9 are split up here. High is a long way away from this fight, so they need to regroup. They cannot approach this fight from the sides. They have to be as one.
I gotta think that Cloud9 should have made the call to make use of that teleport discrepancy, because they just lost out so much when Acorn teleported mid, and yet everybody right now, even ground, all just grouped up around Dragon. Vision and control by Blue right now as well, and they're starting up that Dragon.
Poke a little too strong for them there. Dade getting a good couple of shock blasts off. That Dragon is going down, smited away by Spirit.
Give it up.
Cloud9 can't get near it.
Blue just did such a great job of containing Cloud9 in their own jungle, wasting all of their time. They didn't have to trade anything for that Dragon. He's dead.
They got him. Oh,
he's alive.
Blocked. He's going down. The red buff. The red buff. No, not quite catching him out there. Meteos is keeping him at bay, but they may even take the turret from this one. The Dragon and the turret, that is critical. And Samsung Blue making moves on Cloud9, who are just not reacting. They're lackluster right now.
The walk away burn, not enough from Lizard buff from Lee Sin. Or we didn't even have Lizard buff, it was his Lizard Elder. Now he's gonna have the Lizard buff though. They aren't done with just the Dragon. They invade the jungle. Blue with a pretty strong foothold now. If they keep up the vision on both sides of the jungle, they can continue to pull these invades.
Looking good for Samsung Blue. It's a 2,600 gold. Not exactly masses, and we've seen that, well, both of these teams, to be frank, can play from behind. The question is, will Cloud9 be allowed to here by Samsung Blue, who are just jumping on every opportunity that they get? And look at the bottom side of the map. It's full of blue wards at this point. Top side, not quite as much, but we're going to see a bit of a push there on that middle outer turret. That would help Cloud9 get some of that gold back.
Yeah, Blue jump on that defense, though. Everybody going up there, so they should be able to control it. Talking about the wards, actually, Cloud9, Lemon Nation in the group stages actually had the least wards placed per minute of all supports. And so the rest of Cloud9 kind of has to carry that burden and fill in the blank spots here. Right now, though, they have no vision to work with. Blue shove up mid, and they've got great position on this turret.
Yeah, the burst there. That is the tower gone, yeah. Absolutely. Cloud9, they're going to get caught out. They tried to flank, and instead the Glacial Fisher catches on high. Will he get caught out? Oh, Spirit catches him once again, but it kicks him to freedom. I can't believe it. Meteos. Oh, great exhaust.
This is a perfect equalizer opportunity.
Equalizer, can they get it in the right spot? No, they get him down.
He already used it.
Yeah.
Meteos, Lemon Nation, Sneaky, the three that are left there on the side might be in trouble because Samsung Blue still got 5 men alive. Spirit, the one that's really low amongst them, but they're going to go and try and have a good go on this turret, and it's going to be down to half before they can say anything. Lemon Nation takes a shock blast, and Samsung Blue push their way through. They're going to take the inhib as well here, maybe? No, they back off. Oh!
Meteos drew them away. Is that enough? Here's a tower!
Oh, man!
Holy cow! Dade had some power behind those shock blasts.
I was worried in Champion Select for Blue that just Jace and Corki wouldn't be enough poke, but man, I will not doubt Dade's Jace any longer. Just the Jace and Corki are taking gigantic chunks out of Cloud9 health bars and providing plenty of poke for them to push onto objectives.
And back to your point about warding here, the fact that Lemon Nation had placed in group stage less wards than anyone else, any other supports, makes it even harder this time around. With Spirit being on Lee Sin, he's got that sight stone as well, which means more wards all around for Samsung Blue. High, trying to get the tower, managed to get the stun onto Heart, but doesn't quite get the damage to pick up Cloud9's second tower of the game. That gold lead just getting larger right now, swinging for Samsung Blue. Let's have a look at that one again. It was the bomb followed by the shock blast combo.
So yeah, Corki and Jace, the Rockets plus Shock Blast. Whew. And that, he wasn't even that low. He was about half life when the first rocket hit.
Oh, Hard caught out. Has he gone too deep? He's got the support, the buddy system in full effect. Dade comes out, and that Shock Blast reacts. Balls completely punished for that one. So all of the work that Cloud9 did in this bottom lane completely undone in a matter of minutes. And Sneaky, if he doesn't back away now, may well be baited into this one thinking he's got Meteos in support, but Samsung Blue, they're collapsing and they're coming from every angle. Meteos can just leap away from this one. And I think C9 have to back up. Dade's going around the side. It's a 4 versus 2 in the bottom, and they have to give it up.
Now, yeah, they are going to have to give it up. They don't have much vision either to work with, but look at this Brutalizer here on Corki. That's a fairly rare build. Going for flat armor penetration. Now, cooldown reduction is definitely good for him. Definitely helps out with his ulti as well. Not only stacking up quicker, but also the animation with it. It comes back to Deft and his love of these skill shot AD carries and his ability to squeeze out every last bit of damage from them, weaving in auto attacks and spells.
This has so far been a comedy of errors. Spirit going to take the blast high. He's moving in there. The equalizer goes out. They're going for Dade. He will be shut down by high. Can they keep this going though? Big tanky Acorn right in the middle of them. Good ultimate out of heart as well. But there's damage is just not there. Balls gets turned around on. And I think now they're going to keep going. Late Monsoon from Lemon Nation as he flashes away. Where are the rockets going to come from? Deft steps up. High's going to go down. There's another one. Clean up. Deft. He's going to keep going as well. Good knock up on Elimination. And Elimination will go down. It's 5-for-1. It's an ace for Samsung Blue.
Such a clean team fight for Blue. The re-engage there, Deft on the other side of the wall, throwing rockets until he had the sure kill to flash up. And Spirit has hit almost every Q I've seen him throw out on that Lee Sin. The micro from these guys, the skill shots has been ridiculous all game long, all series long.
I mean, fantastic. Let's take another look.
So they get trapped, and they take out the main source of poke, Dade, really early on. Teleport comes in as 2 members jump over the wall. So that was miscommunication for Blue there. Deft and Heart down there on the bottom didn't do much for that until they bait in Cloud9. Then the huge rocket, the re-engage from Acorn, allows Deft to flash up aggressively and continue the chase. And then Spirit and Acorn both with the re-engage here. Flash, twisted advance. Ridiculous. One more rocket kill, and as we know, Spirit lands the Q.
Flash you at that.
Oh, Flash Sonic Wave. Dragon picked up big advantages. All going Samsung Blue's way right now. And all 3 dragons their way. It's kind of similar to what they tried in game 1, but they've just tweaked it a little bit. They're like, we want the Jason there, we got the Corki, we got a bit of poke, we can keep it going, but let's just adjust a little bit. And that's the thing. Samsung Blue, pretty much all Korean teams, they're so used to playing best of 5s. They're so used to adapting. And Cloud9, they need to be looking at this game. And now it's looking like it may well be over for them. They need to start thinking, how will we change things for game 4?
This Corki Brutalizer has turned into the Black Cleaver, so not only does he shred with his minigun armor, but he's also going to be shredding percentages with his Black Cleaver. So he's opening up so much penetration for him and Dade, as well as Spirit. So I guess it's all coming to fruition right now.
And Magic Pen boots as well, just to, add a bit of Magic Pen for the mixed damage as well. Looking good for Deft and Samsung Blue. That turret is not going to last long. One last shield from Lemon Nation, but it will be falling. Samsung Blue completely zoning them out there, and that means mid lane and bottom lane has nothing left outside of the base. Well, mid lane doesn't even have an inhibitor turret left standing on it. It's a big lead that's opened up for Samsung Blue. 10,500 gold in their favor. Makes it hard for Cloud9 to even be thinking about getting involved in fights.
Still just the opening kill that Spirit wasn't involved with so far. He's had his hand in everything so far outside of that. Maybe, just maybe, proving why Lee Sin locked in first, of course. Why it's been banned a couple of times. Late transmission from Hart. He thought he had it.
He had a ward in that bush.
He had a ward in that bush.
So I think he warded at the same time.
Yeah. We're giving the benefit of the doubt on that one.
If you're going to place the ward, then you usually wait to see what the ward sees first before pulling that trigger.
Is there? Ha! Got him. No, wait a minute. Cloud9 grouping 5 members. They want to push down mid. While this is happening, Deft was going along the top line. They may, just may, get themselves their first tower in the game. But again, the stun lands on Acorn. If they throw everything towards him, he is a gigantic tanky target. Deft is just taking another inner turret, an outer for an inner. Not really sure, and they may still collapse here. Samsung Blue looking to make a play. They're going for Dade.
Can they get a hold of him? He flashes away from that one. The Zephyr comes in from Lemon Nation.
Wow, they've got
They need a lot more, though. The
man!
will take down Lemon Nation. Balls is running. Sneaky's running. Spirit all over him as he kicks him into the wall. Will basically solo him off. He's still alive there. Getting the regen through me. Hard. He's going to go down. High will go afterwards, though. And right now, it's a 3-for-1. Spirit's still up. Will he follow through? The slow will stop him. But Def, this entire time, that was a 5 versus 4. Def takes down the init turret.
Yeah, Blue just dismantled them in that team fight.
Def's on the hunt. He comes around. Lands it perfectly. Square on the chin. And now Balls. He's got Spirit chasing him. Def comes in for a full-on hit. And he gets himself to double.
Man.
They're taking the Baron. Samsung Blue are just doing what the hell they like right now.
Def, don't play Tristana anymore. Just keep playing these skill shot AD carries. My goodness, that was ridiculous. Blue obviously have complete control of this game, and they are not looking to let this go back in Cloud9's favor. Baron going to be picked up off of the back of that one. The base is exposed. They should be able to buy and run straight towards inhibitors.
Looking like a Game 3 victory. Let's watch that one again. Dade flashing away, and they just ran straight in and went too far.
So right now they had to commit everything to this. They already used the Rumble ultimate. It's a 4 versus 5, and they're out of position, so they're slowly losing ground up top. So they have to just commit all into it. And then they get spread out inside the jungle. Dade pulled that great move with Heart, where Heart put up the shield, and he was able to fire from the back of it, taking out everybody in the back line. Even Meteos can't find a kill on an isolated Jace.
Oh, this is risky. They're just going to try and run in, but instead it's leaving their mid lane completely exposed. There's no turrets there. So Samsung Blue just run straight up for free. Right now, unanswered, and Cloud9, they're just about getting a bit back in time. High will be there, but I don't think he can do a lot to hold Samsung Blue's assault on this inhibitor.
Yeah, Depth is level 16 now, highest level in the game. He's got his max ultimate, and he has plenty of damage. He's got a Leandri's Torment, is what he's got.
Yep.
Those missiles hurt, Joe.
Told you. The penetration build, man.
He's got all kinds of penetration.
Look at High, he's going to try and flank around the side. This is a last-ditch effort, I think, from Cloud9 to keep them off the Nexus turrets. There's the equalizer going down. High moves in. Can he land the stun in the right target? But Hardy's there. Blocks him off completely. Dev takes down the turret. Meteos gets locked up. Monstrous bombs come through. They turn back onto High. High focus. He tries to flash away to safety of his turret. They land the stun on Danny, but there's no follow-up. The ult is pulled, but there's just no follow-up from Cloud9, and that surely will be Samsung Blue to close out the match.
Well, they're going to get back onto the fountain, do a bit of healing here. But Acorn, I think, even with a third of his HP, can hold them off here. Second Nexus turret is going to fall. Oops, a little bit deep for Acorn. He gets finished off by the laser, but the Nexus goes down, and Samsung Blue take the lead.
Solid victory this time round. Despite the great start, honestly, they worked it. Of course, they went 2 kills down from level 1 play. They managed to get one back, and it was starting to work in their favor down that bottom lane. But again, some great tactical plays from Samsung Blue, catching people out at the right time. And once Dade and Def wrapped themselves up with the damage, with the help of Spirit landing every single Sonic wave he threw out, it all went well for them. You gotta look back, the turning point possibly could have been that teleport from Balls. When they tried to make that play, it backfired, they got a little something from it, but again, the Dragon went Samsung Blue way, the tower went their way, and it all started to tumble from there.
Yeah, that early game, so fragile, because once Jace started to get ahead, man, Dade's poke was on point, and it goes without saying that Def's was. The Corki missiles, he had so many levels that his missiles were doing tremendous amount of damage that he even put all of his money into these awkward items just because he could.
You call them awkward, but if Def's building them in the semi-final, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there. In the quarter-final of the 2014 World Championships, then maybe we're the crazy ones for not following him. Either way, it puts Samsung Blue now on game point, on match point, on semi-final point. Cloud9 have to win 2 in a row. I mean, they won game number 1, but we've seen time and time again that the difference in best of 5s is how you adapt.
Yeah, exactly. And Blue here, they're looking straight at their sister team. They want to get out of quarters as quickly as possible because, you know, for the same reason that White were saying in the interview they don't want to face Blue in semis, Blue are like, yeah, one more time.
We can reach the finals. We'll see, of course. There's a long way ahead of themselves. There's another game to go here. The question is, can Cloud9 claw their way back into it? For now, though, we're going to head over towards our experts on the analyst desk to hear more about that match.
Thank you very much, T-Man and the guys at the desk. First and foremost, that is Ball's first competitive loss on Rumble. 16-0 going in, now 16-1 at the hands of Samsung Blue. All of you guys predicted a 3-1 in favor of Samsung Blue. It's looking like that's going to be likely. And something that we actually haven't mentioned just yet was Faker himself, actually in an interview on stream rather, said he felt Cloud9 could win this matchup, just as an aside. Let's immediately jump into this one. Let's talk picks and bans. Dade pulling out the Jace once more. Monty, maybe start us off talking about the pick and how the adaptation came in for Samsung Blue.
Yeah, obviously Yasuo is going to be a better pick here, but it was banned out. And I'm not sure why Dade keeps playing Jace into Syndra. I do think it's a little bit risky, and I'm not as impressed with his Jace as I am with Pawns.
However, I do like the how well-rounded this poke composition is. The weaknesses they had earlier was too much poke or a 4-1 like split push poke composition. But this time they have the Ramen and Maokai.
The other thing that was wrong with it was they were kind of waiting for the Tristana to scale up. But yes, you do have an earlier power spike with the Corki and the Jace, and you can still, you know, you can block a lot of the damage coming in with Braum.
Yeah, and that's really the thing with Samsung Blue here. They fixed all the mistakes from game one. Spirit, I think, by the way, basically carried this game by getting them, you know, to a good spot early on, and then if Samsung Blue are at least equal 18 minutes in, which traditionally they aren't even, you get them gold parity and they explode people. Dade, I like the Jace just because you can call him Gordon Freeman. He brought people to half-life every single time he threw a Q out. It worked.
I'll give you that one.
And I really like Deft on Corki. I feel like it's his champion. Last time I saw him play Corki was against LMQ, where he just absolutely dominated them. It has the mobility he needs for when he's out of position, and he's so good at landing those missiles.
But aside from picks and bans, what struck me is their adaptation in terms of level 1 play, and I think we have a replay ready of that. What I want you guys to do is remind yourself of game 1. Cloud9, they did the adaptation first because they realized they had no vision on the left side of the map. Therefore, they realized they had to invade red buff, and they caught Samsung Blue off guard. However, Blue learned from that from game 1. They did the same thing, cut out the vision on the left side, nothing there. But they were waiting for Cloud9. So if you run the Crypt right now, we see Lemonation comes in, doesn't find anybody there, so he thinks he's safe.
Tracks.
No more wars, and yeah, they already pulled the buff because they think it's so safe, and Lemon just face it, dies. And this is where I think Heart's Braum skills really show off. You know, you got Dade coming in, the exhaust comes up, flash for the auto proc, and then the max range Q right here, slow that down, and the follow up on Sneaky. And that's 2 kills, a failed invade. Of course, later Cloud9 would be very, very persistent in getting that red buff anyways, but really good adaptation in terms of level 1 play and just overall play from Samsung Blue.
Yeah, you have to really give it to Cloud9, though. I mean, I think that what we didn't see there was the follow-up, and their continued aggression really worked well in their favor.
I was surprised.
I was surprised, too, but it was ballsy, and it worked.
Yep.
I'm going to summarize the next 10 minutes very simply. We got into those head-to-head lanes. It felt like Cloud9 and Samsung Blue were sort of trading toe for toe for most of it. Let's jump up to the second replay fairly quickly on because it was incredibly chaotic. Absolutely everybody got involved in this particular fight as people start jumping into the lane. So roll the clip out, and you know, this is following a Ball's teleport that was really not very effective. Double Lift, maybe talk us through some of the plays, misplays, and what you liked about this fight.
Yeah, sure. So this fight is just all over the place. Dade has to blow flash right off the bat, but when they see 2 people on their raids, Samsung Blue knows it's time to go in. They know this is a 4v3 situation because we have teleport. Actually, wait, they don't teleport in. I'm an idiot. They just actually end up disengaging.
No, this was a good bait.
Oh, this is something else.
Yeah, this
Holy crap, I'm so dumb.
So yeah, I'll say what happened. Basically, Sneaky and Elimination baited in because they had Balls following up. Balls blows the equalizer, but then C9 chases. And because High roams a lot quicker here, beautiful max range stun double, and then flashes in. But here comes Dade.
I remember what happens now. Dade could have got a quadra kill here. Oh my god, he's such a baby, dude. Why did he back off? That was a quad kill.
Because he's in
I was screaming it right
at
then.
Worlds. Yeah.
Well, the thing is as well, though, is it was interesting. Samsung Blue just didn't expect the fact that Rumble still hadn't recalled. Like, Cloud9 tried so desperately to make a play, and you haven't seen him walk back yet. You know he has to walk back to lane. Acor's getting free damage to the turret. Like, you have this guaranteed top lane advantage that you can teleport with later once Rumble finally does show up top lane. It was definitely impatient by Samsung Blue.
I definitely want to reiterate that point. I feel in the last 3 games, Balls has definitely shown inferior teleport usage when dealing with Samsung Blue in contrast to Acorn. And for the second game in a row, Cloud9 have had sort of mechanical mistakes, maybe some decision errors. As the game progressed from there, Samsung Blue got more and more control. Was it Cloud9 making mistakes or Samsung Blue making the right plays?
So Samsung Blue, I have to give them, first of all, massive props. They are playing so damn well after 18 minutes, especially Spirit. He carried that game. I firmly believe that. Lemon, I think, has actually done the most falling since game 1. Hit every buy in game 1, missed every buy in game 2, didn't like his Johnny here in game 3. He would never full channel an ulti to heal his team. He would just knock people back. He'd be like, 400 health. Don't need that.
You pointed this out in Champs like during the game as well. Apparently, Lemon maxed W second.
Right. No, first. He maxed W first. 1 point shield.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
No, me either. With Graves, you one-shot people at level 7.
Janna's actually a lane counter to Braum, which is why, well, it's one of the reasons why Deft and Hart got crushed so hard. They actually just got outplayed straight up, but Janna has a great matchup. I don't know why in the world he would max W first on Janna. He should be maxing E. That shield is just too strong.
Sure, in lane, but if we look at the champions that they picked, Braum against Graves, Braum against Syndra, these are champions that, you know, with that wall does really, really well against once you get into team fights.
Let's pull up a replay here that I specifically want to throw to Monte Cristo. Regarding a trade at the 20-minute mark, roll the clip out and you'll see Sneaky's going to take a ton of poke just by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And when Samsung Blue catch Cloud9 out of position, they really punish them for their mistakes.
Well, I mean, just look at the rocket and the shock blast hitting at the same time right there. Then Hart's going to come in. There's a max range ult kind of hitting high at the tail end of it. There's going to be a good equalizer that's coming in here right there on the left-hand side, and High gets kicked away out of the wall. Now, they take a lot of the equalized damage. You'll notice they group up in the Maokai ult, so they'll take a little bit.
Spirit's just dancing, dude. And High just got caught out of position, so he didn't really get to do anything. He got his ulti off on his Spirit, but just died.
The thing is like Monty said, he approached them from the flank, which is good with Syndra, but you can't get through that Braum shield. Braum shield blocks so much of Cloud9's composition. And to go back on the laning point, I think Deft and Hart need to work on their 2v2 laning communication, because there are ways to exploit that Braum matchup even more. But it seems like it doesn't even matter, because Deft can come out of lane with such a big deficit and then just rock our world. Those missiles, I don't think he missed a single one post-laning phase.
He's one of the best workers I've like literally ever seen in 5 years of League of Legends. And Cloud9, to me, they look way less coordinated in team fights. You saw that battle. Sneaky gets chunked, and High and Sneaky still chase for about 3 seconds before realizing, oh, we can't fight this battle anymore, got cut afterwards. I think back to the very first replay in game 1, and again, High was by himself in that brush with no vision, gets caught. Thankfully, they had a 10,000 gold lead, but any much of a closer game, that was a game throw right there by C9. Their team fighting is not as sharp as Samsung Blue.
Definitely not working out this time round. Just as an aside, Lee Sin and Kha'Zix. Lee Sin's been picked 31 times in the World Championship so far, Kha'Zix 42. They both featured in their previous matchup. I feel like junglers have been fairly impactful this series. We're going to move on to the next game. We'll see what they're going to get their hands on as we do take a short break. We'll be back in those 3.5 as we talked about. Game 4 of the series, the 2014 World Championship continues here in Busan, South Korea. Don't miss it.
He gets counteracted. Acorn did. Oh, he goes down. High comes in. Gets himself a kill. Acorn goes down. The Monsoon is now down. Death's going to make a drop. Sneak is the target, but they're still putting him down. Sneak and goal. Damage. Can they trade it back? They can.
럼블부터 조심해. He's going to keep going as well. Good knock upon elimination. And elimination will go down.
I definitely appreciate what I have right now. It's cool to be able to travel around, do what I love doing, meet people that also love doing what I do.
I think the realization that I'm out here playing video games, I'm 20 years old, won't come until a lot later. Right now I just have to keep focusing on my practice and keep moving forward with my play rather than like thinking back all on it right now.
We have been a lot more successful than I had thought we would at the beginning of the season. I would say that we're pretty lucky to have this kind of life.
Welcome back to the 2014 League of Legends World Championship, as I am joined here by Mata after securing, of course, that place in the semifinals yesterday. I'd like to start by picking your brain on the bottom lane matchup that's going on in this game, as you know both sides very well.
마타 선수 클라우드9 팀과 삼성 블루 팀의 바텀 듀오 경기력에 대해서 좀 평가해 주세요.
일단 두 팀과 많은 스크림 게임을 했는데 오늘 경기 본 결과로서는 C9 바텀 라인은 좀 평소보다 더 잘한다는 느낌을 많이 받고요. 그리고 블루 같은 경우에는 좀 스크림 때는 잘했는데 좀 대회 때는 좀 실력이 덜 나오는 것 같아요.
So we played both C9 and Samsung Blue in our scrims. I think Lemon Nation and Sneaky, they're having a great day. They're playing really well. Other hand, Deft and Heart, they're not doing so well, but I think they're catching up.
Do you think they can catch up in time? Do you think Samsung Blue will close it out now, or how do you think the series will advance?
지금 이대로 가면 삼성 블루가 이대로 이길 것 같으세요? 아니면 다시 한번 클라우드9이 추격을 할까요?
1경기는 블루가 좀 슬로우 스타터라서 좀 진감이 있는데 2, 3경기 이긴 이상 아마 4경기까지 이기지 않을까 좀 생각이 들어요.
I think Samsung Blue is a slow starter team, so they might have dropped the first game, but as they won second and third game, I think they're going to close it at the fourth.
All right, if you think they'll close it out, when I talked to Imp and Dandy, they said, well, we'd rather not play them. Do you dare to step up and maybe take some confidence that you do want to play them and maybe beat them?
그 같은 팀 동료인 인프 선수랑 댄디 선수는 이왕이면 4강전 때 클라우드9이랑 붙고 싶다고 이제 인터뷰 때 말했었는데 마타 선수는 어떻게 좀 더 자신 있게 삼성 블루랑 붙고 싶다라고 얘기할 수 있나요?
그러니까 이번에 좀 4강에서 연속 3번으로 만나는 기회가 생길 수도 있는데 3번 이상 질 수 없거든요. 이번에 4강에서 꼭 이기고 싶어요.
So if we meet Samsung Blue again at the semifinals, this is our third time, and we can't lose all three. So we have to win no matter what.
All right, well, thank you very much. Mata says Samsung Blue will win. Will they take game 4? We'll find out right now with our casters.
Thank you very much, Shock. So, they can't lose 3 in a row. Well, we'll see whether they get there first. They've got one more game, possibly 2 to go before they get to that stage. Cloud9, it is now or never for them. Samsung Blue have them on the ropes.
Well, I mean, they can't lose 3 in a row, right? I don't know about that. I mean, Samsung Blue have shown that they've, had a bit of a ropey start to things, got gradually better and better and better, but there's something still nagging there from Cloud9 that they can still do it in this game. It takes 2 in a row, of course, now with this best of 5 and the 2-1 scenario, and for me, that might just be a step too far.
Yeah, it is definitely Cloud9's turn to change it up, and especially, as the analyst Seth was pointing out, in the level 1s. Cloud9, the first game around, they got this big advantage from their level 1 in their bold invade, but Blue adapted really well to it and made them pay for it.
So here we go, picks and bans underway. Game 4, will it be the final one? Or do Cloud9 have an answer? They're back on the blue side, it's the side they favor. It's where they picked up a lot of their wins throughout the summer. The question is, can they take one over Blue? Thresh ban coming out again. A zillion first-time ban this time for Samsung Blue. Alistair, got to expect to be in there somewhere.
Dead taken away as well by Cloud9, so not much of a change on that front. On the other side, though, will Samsung Blue stick to their usuals? It will be an Alistair ban as well.
I'm kind of looking for Lee Sin to show up here somewhere. Now, there's a possibility for Cloud9 to actually pick it for Meteos because he did have success on it, but he never really jumped full in on that champion and really decided that it was his most...
Choices.
There it is,
yeah. They go for it.
So he is full in on Lee Sin here. Now, he had a really good record in North America with this champion.
Yep, 7-2, in fact, was that record. Had 23 kills, 63 assists on it, only 15 deaths. I'll see how he does this time around. Of course, also played it once so far in Worlds, has a 100% record on that. We're going to see Maokai locked in for Samsung Blue, and of course, the change here for Cloud9 was not banning out Thresh and letting Yasuo through for the first time.
Yeah, they banned out Thresh instead of Yasuo this time around, and we will get to see, I guess, here, why everybody bans it so much against Dade. This is a really, really fearsome combo. Not only is Dade on Yasuo, but they've comboed Yasuo with Maokai, which is one of the most, if not the most beastly team fighting combo there is in the entire game. Oh,
rough start.
Good answer, though. This is a good mid-game answer.
Yeah, as you say, Rumble getting locked in once again for balls. Got to make sure he works those teleports well this time. And of course, Sneaky taking away the Corki from Deft, who was just immaculate on it last game.
I do like both of these picks from Cloud9. They can make a very strong early and mid-game push here, especially with Lee Sin to facilitate both of these lanes. They have an opportunity to try and snowball it early, but they are going to have to do something early on, because if you go into Maokai plus Yasuo late, like, this team fighting is ridiculous. Maokai's just little bump that he gets from Arcane Smash is enough to trigger the Yasuo ultimate. And then he also has all the reduction there once Yasuo's inside, so the melees all get their damage reduction. It's really hard to see. So we'll see what Cloud9 can do with the missile barrage of Corki and the great equalizers that Balls has been able to pull out.
We are going to see Nami locked in, and Rengar as well. For Spirit, not one of his, most played champions. I say not one of. I mean, he didn't play all that much variety. He had 5 games on it during OGN and playoffs. 3 for 2 records. So, not amazing, but also we've seen some very, very scary Rengars across the board during the World Championship.
Yeah.
We've also seen Spirit play it the one time where he did pick up a win for his team.
One of the big generalizations that the League community likes to make is that Korean Rengars are amazing and everybody else's Rengars suck. And it actually is true quite a lot of the time.
True.
I mean, the Rengars coming out of Korea.
Okay. So,
all right.
Talon once again for High. The stats, not so strong for High's Talon, but he's led Najin White Shield on a merry dance with it before.
I'll tell you those stats exactly. Yeah. 2 losses out of 2 games played, 3 kills, 16 deaths, 4 assists, a KDA of 0.44. Definitely not been the strong point for High so far here at Worlds. Braum, of course, was picked for Lemon Nation, and now we're going to find out what Deft is going to bring to the table.
So he's hovering over David here. In the lobby, they were actually chatting with each other. These guys are friends, and Sneaky was like, okay, how about I'll take Draven and you take Twitch, and we meet up, right? Because that's a ridiculous lane matchup for Draven, and Def was just humoring him a little bit for the last pick here. But it will be Twitch. The double stealth here for Blue, Rengar plus Twitch. And the ridiculous combo. Not only do they have Maokai to knock up, but also Nami if Acorn's not able to set up Dade. Ooh. Some really, really strong team fights, actually, from both teams here. I think that Cloud9 just has to make an early move, though, if they want this one to turn out positively for them.
And there's the question again. We always talk about predictability, and we talked about it already in this game because Cloud9 were doing the same at level 1. Last time around, Samsung Blue had it in their heads and were able to do something about that. Now the question becomes, do you do it again? Is that less predictable than changing it up after it was already countered? I don't know.
They could invade the opposite side and try and catch him out. Instead, invade top side and try and pull a fast one. The good thing is Braum is amazing in level 1s, and Lee Sin is also very good in level 1, so that would go in their favor. The other thing that's great for them, Lee Sin is better at ganking mid early than Rengar is because the bushes are so far apart. So unless it's like a really good counter gank, that could be a saving grace for High and his talent.
Definitely tricky situation for Cloud9 here. Do they go for it? Do they roll the dice and maybe go for that level 1 play, which is kind of backfired on them in the last few times they tried it. And let's not forget the time they played Fnatic back in the quarterfinals last time at Season 3 Worlds. Of course, for you guys at home, it is now your turn to turn to Twitter. And once more, let us know who you think will take this matchup. Tweet us hashtag Cloud9win or C9win. Or, of course, hashtag SSBwin for Samsung Blue. And, of course, we hope you guys Get behind Cloud9. That's what we want to see in the votes. Don't forget to include at LOL Esports in there as well.
I think game 2 was 94%
Yeah,
or
they were
something,
definitely behind them.
They were definitely behind them at that point. That may well have changed, though, with Samsung Blue now on game point here, possibly setting up a semi-final all-Samsung encounter. Would be amazing to watch, but, well, this one far from over. Let's see what Cloud9 pull out of the bag.
All right, let's see. Some early vision down. Everybody on the bottom side here for Cloud9, so it's already looking like they might do the same situation here. Try and invade, get one of those wards down so they can have vision on one of the buffs. Deft does see them.
There is a slight difference, though. Meteos not taking the sweeper here right at the start, which is something they did before.
Ooh. Yep. Sneaky got a shot on him, but that does show the entire Cloud9 team now with that single ward, which means it's free for Samsung Blue. They're going to go in and get some deep wards, get some cover. And look, Acorn's going to ward the top lane very deep, so we're going to see whether we get in lane switches against this Twitch.
Yeah, low mobility Twitch, Corki plus Braum, really scary to go into. Ah, they've given it away.
That sweeping lens would be real useful right now.
Well, not really. Like, if you clear out a little
Well, that's true. I mean, they're going to see it anyway,
they
right?
already would have done it there, so.
Cloud9 are moving up towards the red buff. Ward goes inside of the pit, and they decide, let's march on over onto the other side. They have vision of Samsung Blue. They know they've gone in there, and they know they've not come out of the other side. So looks like Cloud9 and Samsung Blue here covering a lot of map before the minions start pouring in.
Big difference this time around. Cloud9 have vision on both sides of Blue's jungle. High, though. High's going to go in to face check this.
He's got the rest of the team with him. They're all going to come around, gets the rake down, but Lemonation not close enough to land in there. Heart might get...
He wants money is what he wants. Get that free harass money.
And he gets it, but it may well cost him. High's going to get forced away here.
Interesting supports through the mid here. They're trying to track that lane swap.
They're going for the blue. That's what they're doing. They've gone into the blue. Yeah. It's going to be the red. Will they trade? That's the question.
Yeah, it's the standard lane swap buff trading here. Trying to jungle on the side that your dual lane is going to be. That's the safest and highly recommended route to go with these trades. Hart does make his way all the way up to top, though. We'll see when he starts roaming from this top side, because Blue do have to be a bit careful. They don't have any real wards down by that dragon, so it is up to Cloud9 if they decide to go for it, while Deft freezes up top. Actually, the freeze, there's not gonna be any freeze up top. They're gonna be pushing it fairly quickly here. Yeah.
And may just send Brengar and Maokai towards that top side and see if they can just get rid of a very early turret here. We are going to see both AD carry and support moving into that one. They're doing the wolf camp, and you can see that Akon already wanting to leave there, and it does look like they may be headed that way.
So one of the things about Blue and why they lane swap so much is because they tailor their strategies around the fact that they have this soft early game. They work with their players and tailor their strategy so they lane swap so that you can trade objectives early on, and they can feed experience onto Deft to get him into a position to carry for those late game teamfights, because he is always their really big damage source. And actually, statistically from group stages, Acorn and Hart were the slowest to level 6 for top lane and supports, respectively.
That ward is going to give them vision. They're not going to be able to come down to do a quick early dragon this time around.
Pink
Will
ward,
get
though,
spotted.
immediately.
Pink ward from Hart. They may still try and collapse and get this turret, but they're going to walk it straight into a trap.
In towards Hart here. Can he go down? No, the turnaround comes in. Spirit, the damage is massive onto Meteos, and he has to flash instantly over the wall. Close stuff there, and a flash burn already.
Yeah, that's the dangerous thing about laying traps for 3 people when you only have 2 people in the bush. You're not going to come out ahead there, and they have to end up burning their own flash in that. Really well played early swap here by Blue. They were able to get Hart roaming early enough to stop the dragon. They immediately went to go pink ward that Blue because they knew the expected route there from Cloud9 and the expected vision control. So they've been able to control it, and they're going to get that wave pushing.
This mid lane going to be a very interesting one, though. Yasuo versus Talon. High and Dade, we said it at the very start, it was our featured matchup for this best of 5. High has to step up in this game. Zed in game 2 didn't really have an effect. Rengar going to dive onto Balls.
Balls in trouble here. He's going to get slowed, stunned, locked up by Spirit. He's got nowhere to go. And that is a clean, easy first blood for Samsung Blue in the top.
And the first blood went to depth. This is going to be really, really bad for Cloud9. Getting that Twitch up to level 6 and up to the gold amount he needs for Blade of the Ruin King really early is going to be very, very scary all over the map. Not only do you have to worry about level 6 Rengar ganks, you're going to have to worry about Twitch ganks with Blade.
Trying a little bit there to push back in that bottom side, though. As Acorn and Heart were forced away there. That lane being frozen now by Sneaky and Lemon Nation.
Now, not only did Blue stop the Dragon, but they also were shoving very quickly in this lane, and they got more CS onto Acorn than Balls got because of Heart roaming down with him to CS, and CS in that lane. They're gonna get this turret, top turret, up top, much, much quicker than Cloud9, and they didn't have to give up Dragon for it.
Well, High is under pressure in this mid lane. They pretty much had it to themselves right now, and you can see he's felt fairly heavily behind Ade already. Ade, every single time he gets a chance, gets that hit so close to hit level 6. There it is. Is he gonna land it? Doesn't go for it. A little too close to the turret. Didn't fancy it just yet.
I have to say, this does come back to the thing that Cloud9 were saying in all their interviews, how Blue do a lot of what Cloud9 do, but just a bit better. Cloud9 love to lane swap and do this top laner plus support as a dual lane down bottom quite often as well to try and get Sneaky to his power points. But this time around, Blue pulled off the swap. They've done it really well. They've also got some farm on Acorn. We'll have to see. The mid lane, though, right now, Dade doing a very, very good job controlling High. Meteos hasn't been able to get over there to try and snowball him. Now he's going bottom, though.
Oh, don't think he's going to pull the trigger. Does take tower damage, though. He's going to have to get away from that one. Here comes Samsung Blue trying to collapse, trying to push in there. And Meteos, he just has to safeguard the safety.
And good bubble there right underneath the turret, causing the big problems for Meteos. And so far, it's Samsung Blue ruling the roost. 1,000 gold in the lead. If we look down the lanes, top lane is ahead, mid lane is ahead. Just Sneaky once again, who has been a real shining light for Cloud9 so far in this best of 5.
Yeah, it's just terrible news for Cloud9 up on that top side of the map, especially because Spirit went up to get a level 3 Rengar gank, and he was fortunate enough to have Balls walk close enough to a bush. That extra kill, Balls can't even go into a lane right now because there's so much kill pressure from depth. Level 6 Twitch to level 4 Rumble. Balls has been trying to clean up that white and then just teleport all the way back, waiting for this lane to get to his turret so he can soak up some experience.
So bottom lane turret, first one of the game for Cloud9, will head off their way. I did try and make his way down there, was spotted out.
Level 6 Rengar.
The way. He's going to go in, he's going to pounce, he gets the lock up on High, he's in trouble. Can he get away? Oh, Dade with a beautiful ulti. And that was all too easy.
Yep, buy your pink ward, come into the lane with the ulti, expected every single move. Blue were one step ahead of High.
Amazingly well done there, and so far Samsung Blue looking good here in what could be the final game of this best of 5. Balls, meanwhile, taking a beating on the top side of the map once again from Deft, who just stealths up in there, gets all the shots off. Oh, expunging for that extra damage. Balls less than half HP. Blue are doing Dragon, putting pressure on the top lane. And this is going to be another big chunk of gold for them.
Yep, really good kill. That's their reward for the kill in mid. They gain control of that all-important mid lane. They already had vision control around that Dragon, and they do reap the rewards. One of the things that we got to point out, because we're talking about all these Rengars and the differences in success between the Korean Rengars and the rest of them, is that a lot of the Korean Rengars have been going with these mobility boots early and building a lot of damage early, instead of going for that cooldown reduction route pretty early on. It just makes those first couple of Rengar ultimates easier to pull off because you have that extra speed to get in position, and you have that ability to get around the map. We'll also see if that helps him out later down the line when he goes around looking for kills with Deft.
Keeps on bouncing round. Meteos coming in. A little too early. High doesn't want any of it. High is slipping behind in this one. It's going to become a serious problem. You can see with that Zeal already picked up. on the top lane. Deft has pretty much had free roam, and you can see Kripo getting involved in this one. One of those moments where I just want to be wrong. Come on, Cloud9, take it home. They really are going to have to dig deep because this game has already started out so well for Samsung Blue.
And there's another tweet, this time from Bjergsen. Smart picking by Blue, forcing high onto Talon. This game is going to be difficult, and, well, he's not wrong.
The stats don't lie.
Yeah. It's looking very good, and it's such a hard lane as well.
Oh!
Hyers again, they dive in with the ultimate. High this time though, trying to put some damage back. Here comes that stealth. Oh, Spirit now trying to get on the back of the Sneaky. Will be able to get on top of him. He's got Poison doing damage at the same time. Flash away, Spirit gets that kill, but Meteos is there. Ball and Lemon Nation, they're almost fighting 1 versus 1 on 3 different fronts here. Meteos finally joins in. They'll kill off Heart. Good little bubble. Lemon Nation will be able to walk off to 3 for 1.
Cloud9 make the collapse up there, and the only person not to get his hand in on an A of it is Talon in the mid lane. So High's going to shove that mid up, and Cloud9 come away with a 1 for 3. Good first step here back into this game.
Oh yeah, and say, just as we said, we need to see them get and create something. It worked well for them. Meteos getting himself some kills on that board, and they're not done yet. They're going to try and stick around, create some pressure for Acorn on this top turret. The irony is that Dade, he just used his ultimate on his own in that mid lane and create the pressure so High couldn't join that situation, but if Dade could have been there to get involved in that one. Acorn, is he going to bait himself going into this bush? They catch on towards him. Can they lock on the stun? Not close enough. That one.
Sneaky, they're going to die.
They're going to go for it. Have they got enough? Twisted in advance, tries to lock on balls, but Sneaky comes in and gets himself a kill on the board.
They continue pressure up top. They've also got Meteos on that top side, so they should be able to get the turret afterwards as well. And you see the immediate response from Blue. They know they've lost control of this side of the map, and they ping down bottom on the bottom turret. Signal for Deft to start trying to shove to answer. This is a full health turret, so it's going to take a while for Cloud9 to take it down. And then get it on that minion wave. Spirit looking to make something happen mid, though. No ultimate available, so Dade would have to start it by charging his knockup.
Oh, there's the ultimate coming in, but it doesn't matter. Once again, the pink ball is down, and Dade will get the kill. Very tight to the turret, and Ball gets through that bubble as well. The knockup does come in from Dade, but the damage is there from Ball. Dade's burning. The heat comes in, and he can't continue for the kill.
Got it back up.
Meteos is coming. He's coming around the side, as is Sneaky. They're all collapsing on this one, and Samsung Blue biting off more than they can chew and being forced to back away from that one. They've got a little minion wave coming in. There's more to follow. They're going to try and put some damage down on this turret. Samsung Blue should react in time. Deft is going to come around, but taking a little dose of his own medicine with some of those rockets being blasted towards him.
Yeah, Cloud9 did a good job taking down all of the perimeter turrets here from Blue. But they still have to worry about all these invisibilities that Blue do have. Because now Spirit does have his ultimate available. Def gonna chunk out Sneaky.
Right to run. Cloud9 can't stick around the Valkyrie. Although I'd say they can't stick around, the rest of the team right back in there. We don't have Acorn in the middle, but he's got teleport. Should a fight kick off, Spirit has gone back into his jungle, which is in full view of Cloud9 thanks to that ward that I believe Meteos placed just a little bit earlier on when he was on that top side of the map. But for now, it quietens off, which gives us a chance to look at the gold. 5-4 up in kills are Cloud9, up 2-1 in towers as well. It's 1,000 gold that separates these two teams.
Yep, only 1,000 gold, and Cloud9 do have...
Spotted by a ward, but Acorn knows he's in trouble.
They bait it in.
It's the teleport. Can Lemonade? Don't think he can interrupt him. No, he will get away. He did have Spirit with him as well, but that drew a couple of members of Cloud9 up there. 4 members trying to close in. That may give Dade just enough time to get on towards the turret. No, High is there quickly to react.
Having that teleport down is pretty big for Cloud9. Now, getting that summoner not available does take away some of the threat of these invisibility picks that Blue can pull off. But once again, Heart trying to set up vision control in preparation for this dragon, 40 seconds ahead, trying to get some sight down.
Ward surviving. There's 1 or 2 there even for Samsung Blue outside of the dragon. Half a minute until that comes up, they have control.
Even though Cloud9 are down right now, they do have the key items there for Corki and Rumble for this dragon fight. So if they're able to get good positioning and land a strong Rumble ultimate, then they can still come out ahead here. Braum Wall will do a good job blocking some of Def's spray and pray if Lemonation is able to position himself correctly. Meanwhile, Cloud9 are going to have to work around that wind wall from Dade, and we'll see if Sneaky can maneuver himself. They shove up mid, though, because of the threat of Dragon. Cloud9 going to get this turret down just in time, and there's no Dragon been taken by Blue. Really good call from Cloud9.
And now they push themselves out of the river. Samsung Blue had a little tactical advantage in there, but now Cloud9 can come in, sweep all of those wards they just placed, and they've got to go the whole long route all the way around the side.
If they can bully them out of vision around Dragon, that would be huge. Here comes Spirit, though.
Oh, can he get in? Stepped
Braum
up right
down.
now. Where's he going to go? He's right up to the front there. Lemon Nation will catch a bit of damage there. He's got onto death, got the slow, but not too much damage. Samsung Blue going to come back on. He's looking to get in. Windwalk used.
No equalizer, though. That's huge, because now it's pretty much all up to High to kill Def, to get back there and try and 100% him, which is a tall order because he's only level 10. He needs that level 11 ulti.
Windwall will be back in a moment. They're going to try and get it up. You can see Spirit trying to charge himself. Def's going to be the focus. Exhausted. Meteos has to get out of there. High comes in. Oh, they're just getting wrecked in the pit, though. It's not working out. They try and go in. They get themselves 1, 2. Can they clean up? Sneaky at the back.
Oh, Sneaky.
The Dragon's all over him. Get the hell out of there. Heart's going to take it up. Who's going to die? He's got him cornered. The Dragon's got him down. Sneaky just buys his time. He gets the and gets the ace. Fantastic stuff. Cloud9 back in the game.
Literally Sneaky shooting fish in a barrel there. Heart had nowhere to go, and he gets the Dragon on top of it. What a fight from Cloud9, even without the equalizer. I think the turning point is Meteos deciding to go back in and sacrifice himself. He gets a kick on a bunch of low targets. But here they go. They do go on death, even without the equalizer. Everybody jumps in. High tries to get there as well with this ulti, but at this point it looks like it's lost. Meteos goes back in, gets the kick onto everybody, and Balls comes in with the flame spitter the entire time. Dragon does do a lot of damage to Cloud9 during that, though, and as we know the end of this tale. Oh, and Dragon, how sweet for Cloud9 to pull it back to even. But again, it's still even, and you have to continue to out-fight.
Hart caught out of position here. He's not going to get away. The burst of the ultimate from High will pick up his first kill of this game. And Cloud9, 5 versus 4, minions coming their way, are going to have a go at this middle inner.
Balls has his key items, Sneaky's got his key items, and High even has all that he needs to work with Talon. The percentage plus flat armor penetration. Here, again, those Corky missiles, great poke.
Acorn is not tanky yet. You just saw those Corky missiles, the rake as well from High. It does a lot of damage to him. He can't get into their faces right now. He's not the big tanky front line they need.
This is why in Champion Select, we were saying that Cloud9 need to make something happen early, because this is the point. Rod of Ages is stacking up. Dade's only sitting on his Shiv. He hasn't completed his Blade of the Ruined King yet.
Insane game. 700 gold lead for Cloud9. We've got the Ghost Blade done on Spirit, so taking a different route to some other Rengars that we do see, but that Ghost Blade obviously works very well with him.
Yeah, there's so many schools of thought on Rengar, and that's why we see such a wide variance in, success rates across the world. Kakao was actually the guy who started the whole cooldown reduction in tanky build Rengar a long time ago, but Rengar went through some changes. Now a lot of people opting for mobility boots, and we do often see cutlasses weaved in there, but man, early finishing of the Ghost Blade. He's looking to get Sneaky in the back and try to 1 versus 1 him.
Cloud9 do gift across the blue buff. Sneaky, he's had, honestly, a fantastic series so far. He really has been the man shining light for Cloud9, delivering. Balls, though, picking up those triple kills in the pit. That's jump-started his build, and you can see now that Zhonya's Hourglass is almost complete. It will be a big difference in the next fight. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Dade's got himself the Bladed Rune King Ecstatic Shift. Bladed Rune King also picked up by Def, along with the Brutalizer and Average Blade. So they're not too far behind. It's still only a 1,000 gold differential.
And they're looking at a Twitch plus Yasuo plus Maokai team fight. Like, that is really, really scary and hard to work around. But you know, Cloud9 do have a lot of tools themselves. As we mentioned, the Braum Wall and Equalizer going to do a lot. Let's see if they can catch them in the jungle and use terrain to their favor.
Gonna turn around here. Sneaky gonna go straight down in this one. Good Equalizer will catch a lot of them in it, but Balls is low. Spirit dies over. They're going for Meteor, but Lemon Nation getting the knock up on the back. Death went low, but they couldn't finish him off. It's a 4-for-0. A few blinking red health bars. Balls himself is low and trying to run on that top side, but destruction for Blue.
Yep. Oh, this is still risky. They're going Baron. Balls not going to risk it. He's got teleport available. There's no wards that I can see around there that he can get onto, though. So this could well be an early Baron for Samsung Blue. And just that slight lack of vision in that pit, that was it. That's all they needed. Adade just went straight into it.
Yeah, when these team fights are going to be that close, you can't afford to just run into an area blind here. Cloud9 were trying to get vision down, but Blue are the ones who already had control, and they just run up to the bush here. Immediate jump on both carries. Both Balls and Sneaky right there get taken out of the fight. There's no hope for you when that happens this early on, because High, remember, was kept down really, really early on, trying to get back into this game. So that was the dream opening for Blue, to be able to combo, take out both the Corki and the Rumble there. Really well played by Blue, baiting in Cloud9, or just capitalizing on Cloud9's, you know, exploratory mission.
Well, you can see Cloud9 trying to set themselves a trap this time around. It may well be Spirit. Catches in there. They do get down Heart just off at the side. Minute before the Dragon. Is it in the right time? That's the question. They try and come around. Blue buff. Will they steal it away? You can see, it looks like that's going to get picked up. That will go across the Sneaky. And with this Dragon up, we will have Heart back alive in time. He's going to get enough time to run back down here, but Def, he's rushing in for this one. Heart
so is Rengar.
Out. Yeah, Rengar's ultimate was spotted there, so they know it's down.
Oh, this could actually be bad for Samsung Blue. They are going to have Heart coming back into the fight. The jungle being stripped away along with Vision by Cloud9. Less than half a minute as they move towards a Dragon. Heart should be there in time. If not, just as the fight starts. Samsung Blue gonna loop around the bottom side. Cloud9 looking to actually catch them out here possibly, or at least stop them pushing onto that bottom tower.
Oh, Deft is gonna try and come around. He's looking to flank, and they are all cramped and grouped up. That's perfect position for both Dade and Deft if they catch him in the tri-bush. They've been bullied away from this Dragon. It is just spawning on time. Red Bull's being picked up by Sneaky. We'll see whether they re-engage. I don't think they fancy this one. Yeah, they're gonna back away. It's gonna go Samsung Blue.
That gives them a 3,000 gold lead. 2 out of 3 Dragons. That Baron buff that they still got running, probably another reason why they don't want to fight 5 versus 5. And there was the catch on Heart. Just a simple hidden trap, really, in that side bush as Heart walks through.
Yeah, during that replay, too, Blue were able to clear out a lot of that vision that Cloud9 got down into the blue side jungle. So even after taking the Dragon, Blue are also able to fight back in those vision wars and try and make sure that those plays do not happen again. That was a pretty big pick there for Cloud9, though, because they also burned the exhaust from Heart.
So a couple of spikes in items for Cloud9. They did get the team out now complete, which is a big item for Talent. And of course, that's Zhonya's Hourglass now for Balls. So they were both picked up after that Dragon engage, so they didn't want to get involved. They knew they had a lot of gold in their pockets to spend. So next time around, they may, well, not give it up so easily, but of course that does give Samsung Blue the edge in gold. And in team fight, it's really a case of finding the right fight, picking the right target, getting one of those carries down early if they can.
Yeah, and not only do Blue have the advantage in gold, but they also have the advantage in experience, which is really, really big. Not only because of the extra levels that you get to put in your abilities, but also just the stats that you get. Remember, it's 500 to 600 gold, a value of stats that you get per level, depending on what kind of champion you have, would they have, you know, mana or whatever, that you get every time you level. And it's just a little bit too much now for Cloud9 to actually fight, especially with Baron buff here. Dade's closing in on that level 16, which is going to be really key for them.
Just trying to get rid of the pink wards. I mean, that bottom side of Cloud9's jungle is all wards from Samsung Blue, and Dade has gone completely unchecked on this bottom lane. Took the outer turret, took the inner turret.
There was some clean pushing down there, and they're so scared about this engage. You can see Hart just off the side. He wants to catch them all with that wave, and Dade can just swoop in and finish the job, which is why he's protecting off that coverage instead. Cloud9, they're going to hold on. They've got to be careful that Deft doesn't stealth his way in as well. There's so many angles that Samsung Blue have to catch Cloud9 out right now with that lower half of the jungle.
And Blue were also able to use their Baron to completely choke out the vision from Cloud9. They controlled the map for so long, you know, Cloud9 can't fight them with that Baron buff on, that they've been able to secure vision all over the map and really keep Cloud9 boxed up in their own, under their own turrets and inside their own jungle here. Cloud9 doing a good job defensively warding though, trying to keep a little bit of an opening. Dade's looking for that level 16 though.
Yeah, continuing to farm to get to that level as fast as possible, and well, he's going to make short work of it as well, the way that he's picking up those minion waves. About 3/4 of the experience that he needs, and you can see that Deft and Spirit, between the three of those, a pretty formidable team. Pretty invisible team as well if you play it right.
Yep, hiding in bushes as well, using Dade as a little bit of bait. Now Dade's done an interesting thing here as well, and he got in a Quicksilver Sash, so he can cleanse that silence from High if they do. Oh, there's the invisibility.
They're in a position, they're jumping in. High's gonna get caught out. Flashes in, does not get away with it in time. And well, Cloud9 can't react. This is an inhib turret going down. They're gonna flank around the back of them.
Gonna try for the kills here. They need to hurry up because that inhibitor is already been beaten down. There's the teleport from Acorn. He's coming into the fight. He's gonna be at the front as well to get this fight started. The knockup comes in, pulls the focus. He throws down. He's equalizing as fast as possible. The exhaust keeps Dade out of the fight for now though, but they're going on to Meteos down on the bottom. He gets knocked up and finished off. That's 2 men down for Cloud9. High might actually be able to rejoin this fight. A Sneaky kills off Deft, but 3 men from Samsung Blue are there. There is the kill onto Sneaky. Lemon Nation tries to get under his tower, but won't be able to escape. And just like that, they pick up 3, plus the kill on High right at the start, and the inhib.
Only balls and High left up here. Not much they can do except clean up the scraps. Rough go here for Cloud9. They made it such a valiant effort towards the mid game here. But these, that song, she needs to work on that.
Sounds like me singing.
Okay. The preview of Joe Miller. Now, this is the Acorn teleporting it into the 5 versus 4. So at that point, really hard for Cloud9 to do anything, and it's hard for them to get a good equalizer because it's such a spread out area. So good job by Blue, collapsing here, spreading up Cloud9. And Sneaky he's been really a bright spot for Cloud9 this whole series long, performing really well.
Acorn was doing a great job just to get in his face the whole way there though. So Baron respawn, Dragon up in 40 seconds, Samsung Blue taking away the resources, everything from there. Deft actually in the mid lane. Sneaky's going to go for this one. Equalizer blown. That's tricky. High goes in for it as well, but the rest of Samsung Blue are coming around the side. Here comes Dade trying to cut in around that Spirit. Stealth up, jumps in, goes on. Meteos is the focus. The kick lands. The tower's still doing damage for them, and nobody goes down. A tricky fight, a lot blown with the Baron now up.
Held on to that one really well there, did Cloud9. The turret, of course, does help, but Samsung Blue continue to stick around. They want to get in, and just a couple of auto attacks here out of Dade, and Deft will finish it off. There it goes, turret number 5 of the game for Samsung Blue. Dragon alive, Baron alive, a lot of options here for the Koreans.
Yeah, that extra inhibitor down bottom, not going to be available for Cloud9. The super minions coming in. Makes balls have to recall, so Blue can pretty much clean up the map here. Take Dragon and get some more vision back around that Baron. Cloud9 gonna have to try and jump on some sort of vision play and catch Blue unawares here.
So Dade spotted out. Oh, blocks off with the wind wall. Cloud9, they're hanging on, I feel, on a knife edge right now. It's a 10,000 gold differential at the half-hour mark in this matchup, and you can see in terms of gold differential, it's a giant gulf, almost 5,000 difference between Dade and High. That's a serious, serious problem. Much closer for the AD carries and top laners, and even the junglers. It's really all about Dade right now. 7-1-5 on Yasuo, proving, honestly, why it's been banned so many times.
Yeah, no doubts left there.
Yeah, that gold lead has just jumped as well here. Cloud9 was holding on for so long in this, but that last fight, Baron going the way of Samsung Blue, and now they're completely holding them. And between Twitch and Yasuo, Baron's not going to last very long.
Cloud9 have had such a good run at Worlds this year, though. You know, we heard all the interviews. They're very happy with how far they have been able to come. The improvement over last year is tremendous. Being able to at least take a decent amount of games here. And
well, it's not over yet, Kobe. Don't give up the dream.
All right. Rally caps on, boys. The Baron is getting started. If they're going to come back, this is the spot to come back. You catch him at Baron, and you get a good equalizer.
Oh, they've separated Acorn, or more Acorn separated Cloud9. I'm not sure which way it is. There's an equalizer.
Oh, pretty good.
It's a good one. Hard taken solo. They get down Dane, but can they get anything else?
Def still up.
Sneaky comes in. It's back and forth. He has to get the hell out of there for the rat-a-tat-tat. Spirit goes in towards him. He's trying to keep them at bay.
Oh!
The exhaust goes down. High picked off. It's the ace once again for Samsung Blue. It was so hopeful for a moment, but again, it's the Koreans that come out on top.
Another close fight there. Blue gonna run straight up the mid to try and take turret.
Well, they're going to have this middle inner turret. Inhibitor turret should go down. Bottom lane is pushed here by minions onto the inhibitor, of course, so they could lose a fair amount.
Meteos and Balls about to come
Yeah,
up.
they're going to be both back into this one. Lemon Nation already spawning in there as well. The inhibitor, though, is dead in that bottom lane.
Minions. The Winions. All right, so let's take a look. They chunked the tank down to half at the beginning. Pretty good start. Plus, they get a great Braum and Rumble combo right there to take down the back line. But really, Deft gets left alone here, and him being at full life, chasing off the last 4 members. Even though, for a moment, they had the numbers advantage, Sneaky does get chased off.
3 of them caught in Aqua Prison while Deft was using Rat-a-tat-tat and the Ghost Blade. It's just like free shooting. Oh no, face check Lemonation going in, has to pop the Unbreakable, tries to react, Sneaky caught out with the Aqua Prison again. The Baron, of course, was not taken in the last engagement. We may see a replay.
Yeah, gotta just go around and basically do it better this time of Cloud9. They're gonna go for Dane. They gotta fly into the king. Dane's gonna go for Sneaky, but they've done it. They've killed Dane. They're gonna try and push back. Cost to death. Death goes down. Acorn's gonna fall as well. 45 seconds, 4 timers. What can Cloud9 do?
This is reminiscent of Kaboom getting picks on the carries. They got the 2 main carries shoving up mid. They're going to go for this inhibitor. They have to get the inhibitor down, though. Only a couple minutes to work with. They can do it.
Clever work from Spirit. He's going to try and cut the line off, but this is going to be one him down. And Cloud9, they may try and keep pushing.
For the win.
Death timers. It's 20 seconds still. They have to go for the Nexus turret. They're going to push in there. Lemonade tanking it up. Here comes Spirit. Forget him. Try and get the Nexus turret.
Oh, they got him.
Spirit's taking the damage. Lemonation.
10 seconds.
On the turret. Gonna get one down. Spirit taking so low. They're going to keep on this one. They're going to go, Joe.
Go for it. He's gonna go low.
2.
Doing a jump. Go for the Nexus. They're up. They're gonna dive in. The Nexus is allowed. But they've won it. They've cleared it. Samsung Blue of hell.
Whoa.
They've got super minions in the back.
And now
And
Blue are gonna finish.
All over, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
OMG all over again. It was a last-ditched effort from Cloud9, but Samsung Blue, they have the super minions, they have the team barreling down that mid line, and surely, for God, they could be facing their sister team, Samsung White, in the semi-finals.
Surely got this one. There's still 10 seconds. It's going to take a bit of a miracle here for Cloud9. That Nexus turret will be finished off. The focus onto the Nexus, and Samsung Blue, with an amazing ending here in game number 4, will win the best of 5 and move through to the semi-finals. Wow.
And look at that, hand over his heart. What a way to end this. Blue able to barely defend their Nexus after those 2 crucial picks from Cloud9 and end it just moments later. They've all got to be breathing real hard here. pulse is through the roof.
All credit to Cloud9. They were 10,000 gold behind. They made the play. They made it work. And just a couple more seconds, maybe a little bit more focus, maybe go for the turrets over Spirit. Oh, there's so many guesses with question marks.
Flashbacks. You said the hand on their heart, but it was Nami. It was Heart at the end that was disrupting them. Spirit as well did a lot of big work before he went down. They spawned back in. It was so close for Cloud9, but it's Samsung Blue who triumphed here 3-1. And what a match that was as well.
Could not have asked for a better ending.
Absolutely tremendous stuff. So Blue, victorious 3-1, just like their sister team was over TSM, and they will now face each other in the semi-final as they bow to the crowd. And you can see, honestly, on their faces, they knew how close that was. They knew that was so close to going down to the final game. And then all bets are off. All nerves, completely everything in their favor. Cloud9, they can go home.
Great showing.
Absolutely fantastic showing here. Really have pressured Samsung Blue. Beautiful, brilliant game.
They'll go home. I feel, though, after that, disappointed as well, because game 1 victory, so close to tying it up at 2-2 here. But for North America, you know, this World Championship, TSM took a game off Samsung White, who, for me, looked by far and away the strongest team at this World Championship. Cloud9 taking game number 1, almost forcing us to a 5th game there. This has been a solid World Championship for Cloud9, for North America.
I'll tell you what, though, what a semi-final we have now. The two Samsungs facing off against each other. It's what kind of everyone predicted coming into this Worlds. As soon as the group stage was there, it was a possibility. And as we already heard, it can't be a 3rd time running, surely. We'll see how it works out. That's, of course, next week. And even Dade with a sigh of relief there at the end.
You know where the fingers would have been pointed if that had been the game. He got cut out.
Sneaky, though. Absolutely brilliant, this series. Really has been the shining light for Cloud9. Answered a lot of critics, honestly, coming into this, this whole Worlds.
Yeah, Sneaky's always been top tier North American AD carry. Time and time again, he's shown up. And even when Cloud9 were having their struggles after, you know, Hai had to go through his surgery and he's coming back to the team and they're trying to work through that, Sneaky was so consistent for this team. He just shows up every single day.
And we've only had 2 quarterfinals. We've got another 2 to go. I'm not sure if they're anything like that, I'm going to survive them. You know, the group stage was hard enough to live through, but that one, another amazing one. We've got 2 more to go. The all-Chinese affair, Najin White Shield against OMG as well. Absolutely crazy World Championship so far.
Yeah, the whole World Championships has absolutely delivered. We've had amazing games throughout. Every single day you can look at on the World Championship calendar and think, oh, that game, that was so good, this one, so good. Just there, what a fantastic finish to everything.
Multiple upsets, multiple backdoors, multiple nexuses that were close to going down. So good.
Fantastic stuff. For now, though, we're going to go over to Shox, who is standing by with Samsung Blue's winning players.
Thank you very much, D-Man. I am standing by here with Heart after that fantastic ending. So obviously the first thing I want to ask you is how you did there. How did you manage to keep that Nexus alive and just the feelings going through your mind?
그 마지막 순간에 넥서스를 어떻게 지켰는지 지금 어떤 기분인지 설명 좀 해주세요.
일단 저희가 야소가 딱 죽었을 때 다 도망가자, 막기만 하자 이런 식으로 이야기를 했는데 계속 죽을 수밖에 없었던 거예요. 그래서 이거 진짜 막 끝나는 거 아니냐 막 하면서 막 어떻게든 막아보자 막 저희 랭가는 막 자기가 백도어를 해서 자기가 먼저 밀겠다 하면서 막 달려들었는데 그냥 몸으로 막자고 해서 이렇게 불러서 막 진짜 너무 지는 줄 알았어요. 진짜 지는 줄 알았어요. 근데 그래도 어떻게 그때 헤일이 이렇게 브라운 방패막에 다 막히는 거 보고 이거 진짜 졌다 막 이 생각했는데 다행히도 지금 너무 이겨갖고 이렇게 기쁘네요.
Okay,
Giving him a hard time.
So, okay, after Yasuo died, we're like, oh my god, just run away, go back to your base. And then after 1 by 1 died, we're like, are we gonna lose? Oh my god, what's happening? And then Rengar was like, okay, I'm just gonna backdoor. And then we're like, no, come back, let's just defend our base. And then like he tried his best, and like Brown, he blocked my Nami's ult, so we're like, oh my god, are we really gonna lose this? Then eventually we respawn, and then we defend our Nexus, and we won. I don't know, we're so excited.
Well, it was a great ending, but for how excited you are, you do have the semi-final versus White. Tell me, how do you think that matchup is gonna go? You've done it before, but this is the world stage.
이제 드디어 4강 진출하셔서 다시 한번 삼성 화이트 팀이랑 붙을 텐데 이제 이게 올해 첫 내전은 아니잖아요. 근데 아무래도 롤드컵이라서 좀 소감이 남다를 것 같은데 근데 좀 어떤지 얘기해 주세요.
일단 제가 생각하는 화이트 팀은요. 여태까지의 그 계속 있었던 화이트 팀 중에서 제일 센 이번 시즌이 롤드컵 시즌이 제일 센 화이트 팀인 것 같아요. 그래서 진짜 약간 스프링 시즌이랑 썸머 시즌에서는 우리가 이길 수도 있겠다라는 생각을 했었는데 이번만큼은 진짜 어떻게 될지 모르겠어요 아직은. 그래서 앞으로 연습을 하는 거에 따라서 달라질 것 같고 또 분명히 많은 사람들이 이제 화이트 팀이 항상 이긴다고 이야기를 했었지만 저희는 항상 이겨왔었기 때문에 어떻게 될 건지는 4강 이제 그동안에 준비하는 거에 따라서 많이 달라질 것 같아요.
Okay. When we beat Samsung White during spring and summer season, but for now they're a completely different team. They're much stronger. I think right now this is the strongest phase. But even before, a lot of other people they said Samsung White's gonna beat us, but we eventually won. So I think it's gonna mainly depend on how much we practice. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good match.
To follow up on that, your direct counter partner in lane, Mata, said before, well, this time we have a pretty good chance to beat them. What do you think of that?
그 이제 상대할 마타 선수가 이제 4강에서 삼성 블루 팀 상대로 이길 수 있을 것 같다고 이제 얘기를 했었는데 그에 대해 어떻게 생각하시나요?
원래 항상 인터뷰는 그렇게 했는데 매번 졌었어요. 그래서 그렇게 크게 신경 안 쓰고요. 뭐 그냥 게임 잘 하고 재밌는 경기 하고 그랬으면 좋겠어요. 그리고 거기서 이긴 팀이 꼭 우승했으면 좋겠고요.
Before our Samsung Blue and White games, he always mentioned in the interview that he would beat us, but eventually we won both games. So I don't really care what he said, but I think it's more important to just, play really hard, practice hard, and have a fun game. And whoever wins the semifinals match, I hope they win the World Championship.
Well, very nice to hear. Just a couple more things I want to ask you. First up, what do your teammates think about the support you're giving them through your haircut?
그 팀원들이 하트 선수 머리에 대해서 어떤 말 혹시 하던가요?
뭐랄까 제가 원래 머리 스타일을 자주 이제 좀 특이한 스타일을 많이 바꾸긴 했었는데 그래서 저희 팀원들은 딱히 그냥 이 형 또 바꿨네 막 이런 식으로 넘어갔어요. 근데 이제 다른 분들이 주위에서 많이 이야기를 해주시더라고요. 이제 주로 이제 라이엇 분들이 오셔갖고 멋있다 막 이렇게 얘기를 많이 해주시고 네.
Like I changed my hair so many times, so like my teammates were like, "Oh, you just got a new haircut," so they didn't really say anything. But like a lot of riders and a lot of friends around me, they said, "Wow, you look really cool."
Well, I think you look really cool as well. Is there finally something you want to say to the crowd and all the people supporting you?
마지막으로 이제 팬들한테 한 말씀 해주세요.
이제 혁규가 이제 레클리스랑 경기를 할 때 마지막 경기에서 이제 저희 팀이 이기고 레클리스가 이제 혁규한테 와서 이야기를 했어요. 뭐 우리 팀한테 너희가 이겼으니까 너희 팀이 꼭 우승해라. 그래야지 내가 여기서 떨어진 게 자랑스러울 수가 있다. 이런 식으로 이야기를 했는데 그거에 대해서 혁규가 꼭 자기가 약속 지켜주겠다고 우승하겠다는 이야기를 했거든요. 그래서 저희 팀 되게 우승 꼭 할 수 있도록 노력 많이 할 거고요. 그리고 항상 좀 불안한 모습 같은 것들도 보여드리는데 그래도 응원해 주시는 팬분들께 정말 감사하다는 말씀 드리고 싶어요.
So after our game with Fnatic, Reckless came over to Deft and he said, "Since you guys beat us, please, win World Championship. That way, the team who beat us will be the world champion." So and Deft really wanted to keep that promise. So as a teammate, I want to keep the promise as well with Deft. And for all the fans, like for cheering us, like I want to say sorry because of our unstable games, but please keep cheering for us.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. You got a chance to make it all right in the semis.
I think.
And as for us, we're going to wrap things up over at the desk.
Thank you very much, Sharks. Congratulations to Samsung Blue on another fantastic series. And with all of the Western teams now being out of the 2014 World Championships, I have a special request to the live design team from both North American and European LCS. Can we make the Nexus less tanky next year? With that, let's actually pick up the replay that ended that game. I think it's going to say it all, so let's get that on the screen immediately. Monte Cristo and the rest of the guys at the desk, let's start this one off, roll it out, and just talk me through these final moments from both Cloud9 and Samsung Blue's perspective.
Oh, I'm trying to remember which fight this was.
This is the one that gets caught. Yeah, C9 get back
The
in
three
game.
picks that lead to the inhibitor and the Nexus push.
So
Double
the
lift.
flash kick was awesome, first of all. That was sick.
Yeah.
And they just kind of all in the chase.
I've actually never seen Meteos pull that move off. I mean, it was just so clutch
No, I
to
told
do
you,
it at this moment.
he trained his champion. At the start, he was bad, but he said, like, no, I'm going to train those mechanics. He wins games in LCS purely on play.
This bubble right here, this three-man bubble, I thought as the Nexus was about to die that Hart won his team the game. If that bubble didn't hit 3 people, they might have been
got
able
other
to
bomb
end it.
shield. Bomb absorbs it. And
Here's what you want to look for, actually, though. So as they chase down, there's 3 things to watch for. First of all, Meteos has kick back up at the very end here. He can actually kick Deft to keep him from dealing damage. Also, the very end, Corki flashes into the spray and pray shot that kills Lee Sin. Watch for that at the very end. If you kick Deft away, if you don't die, you actually survive here.
Because they focused down Rengar in that fight. Question to Double Lift. If those auto attacks had been on the tower and then the Nexus, would this have been a Nexus kill?
It's so hard to tell.
That's so hard to
No,
tell
Rengar
because
would've killed him.
Rengar might have been able to kill somebody, so they had to clean him up.
The point of this play, though, we can scrutinize this and be like, maybe, is that C9 was so far down, they had the balls to make a pick with a kick flash, and that was not a flash kick, that was a kick flash. And they basically realized, guys, we just got 2 picks. We will never, ever in this match get 2 more picks. We have to run for the base and try and finish. And they had the audacity to do that, and that is just what separates like the great teams from like the best teams.
And that's why I think Cloud9 is really like the best team in the LCS, either NA or EU. This is a team that can play from behind, that has a very clear idea about how they're going to win the game, usually has excellent pick and ban phase. They really brought it out this series, and they played an amazing series against a very strong opponent.
I have to ask the question to Freak, who's casted this team for many years now, watched them for a good year and a half. I feel that Orianna needs to be added to High's champion pool because Talon was average at best in both the group stages and now quarterfinals for him. I mean, is that something you
It's true. Honestly, every time at Worlds, High, unfortunately, gets brought down to champion that he's not quite as comfortable on. You could say it costs his team the game a little bit. I mean, he's playing a very unsafe champion against a Rengar, right, and getting caught out for it. I don't want to say it's High's fault to lose these games. That's completely unfair. But yes, he's getting pushed a little bit too far down as champion pool. I would like to see him broaden out his top tier a bit. Orianna would be a good pick. I mean, it's whatever you want it to be. Dade has his own crazy champion pool, and it works for him just fine, usually. Just learn more top tier champions for you, and you're good to go.
Yeah, definitely. I think High is a player with a lot of big strengths and a lot of big weaknesses. Obviously, the champion pool and the fact that he gets caught out of position so frequently, but also he's the shot caller for that team. And anytime they rotate, anytime they make those big plays and those clutch decisions, it's High.
So to cut you off, we are talking about High. It's actually fantastic. We have an interview with him. We will come back to the discussion in a moment, but Shocks, over to you and High.
Thank you very much, Quick Shot. And, well, thank you very much for talking to us here, High. First up, tell me about those last moments. We just heard Hart's perspective, but for you guys, of course, at the other end.
There were like 2 things that we could have changed differently that may have made us win the game. But when we got those 2 kills, we knew if we didn't do this, we'd eventually lose the game anyway. So at that point in time, we're like, we're going for this. If we get it, we win the game. But if it fails, we lose. And we put all our eggs in the basket, and it didn't work out, sadly.
Well, you got to go for it. Does that also make you think of the rest of the series? Because game 1, you guys had it in the bag so good. So what happened after that?
I think if I can just get a little better personally, myself, then our games would go much smoother. A lot of times I did like a little mistake or did something bad, and my team wasn't nearly with me on it, and it just made the games really hard. So if I can fix the issues that I have personally as a player, I think our team can improve greatly. But it's just both games we were doing well, and then we did one bad play and they capitalized on it super hard and kind of just snowballed the game from that.
Well, that's a fantastic thing to say from you. What do you take away from this, knowing that you're out, but you did put up a fantastic showing for the NA scene and your team in specific?
Well, we did our best. At the very least, we won a game off them, and we came close a couple other times, so I'm happy for that. And I guess we finally just get to go on break now. We've been playing the entire year, and we finally get to relax now. Everyone gets to do their own thing and basically kind of mellow out a bit.
And then reset for the next season. What do you want to say to your fans that have been supporting you throughout this?
Thanks to everyone for cheering for us. We really appreciate you guys a lot. Sadly, we couldn't pull out a win, but at the very least, we support you guys cheering for us. And thanks a lot.
Well, thank you for the interview, and thank you very much for talking to us. And as for us, we're going to wrap things up a little further over with Trevor and the guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Shucks. Congratulations once again to Cloud9. I think they can walk away proud of their performance at Worlds. A few small improvements, and maybe they could have made it to the semifinals. Let's talk a little bit more about Cloud9 before talking about Samsung Blue and rounding out the day, Crepo.
Oh yeah, I was actually going to jump from the Cloud9 pump to Samsung Blue, because I feel like while every team has their weaknesses, you have to exploit them. And I feel Spirit, this match, exploited them so beautifully. He ran top when there was no vision. Balls was running up to ward. And right at that moment, Max range Rengar leap, and he holds his boa. He holds it till after the flash. And over, he'll go mobility boots, gank mid. He'll jump in, place a pink ward, hold the boa, force high to react, boa strike, and then just screw it high, and he basically won that game for Samsung Blue.
Absolutely. Holding the bola was just so key in those early engagements. And also the team composition that Blue got. We saw a lot of Yasuo bans in this series. Instead, Cloud9 opted to ban the Ryze this game. And I feel that was a mistake because that meant pretty much that Hai couldn't play Syndra here, and it kind of actually forced them onto the Talon pick a little bit awkwardly. And Dade's Yasuo is terrifying.
So, Freak, let's step back a little bit from the micro, maybe talk about the series in general. Sure. Samsung Blue 3 games in a row, punishing Cloud9 for their mistakes, and Cloud9 had quite a few. I think when they watch these replays back, they'll learn them. But we also saw a lot of weaknesses in Samsung Blue that Cloud9 punished several times over the course of the series.
Yeah, so thinking back about the series, Game 1, fantastic analysis and thought process by C9 to get that level 1 invade. Really sexy, really smart, set him up ahead. We saw all 4 games, the team with the lead early on snowballed it. Both these teams incredibly good with the lead. It's the tendencies you can exploit that you can build a lead against these teams. C9 repeated the same invade multiple times, and you saw Lemon face check by himself in Game 3. That was exploited. Similarly, again, the Game 1 invade by C9 really smart as well. So both these teams learning about their opponents, exploiting mistakes, snowballing leads very well. Also, just to correct what I said earlier, Lee Sin kick was not, however, unbreakable, was wasted on Nami. That would have been something to maybe break some Twitch damage down. I just wanted to make sure I didn't get that one out incorrectly. There was no kick up. Yeah, but, you know, speaking of individual mistakes, overall in the series, though, right, these guys have had early game deficits, high, bit of a weaker champion pool sometimes. Samsung Blue in general, they don't win the 2-on-2 lane, and that can be very rough against like Imp and Mata.
Double F, talk to me about the series before we move on and talk about the brackets.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about Samsung Blue a little bit because their early game, it's like people will just slap them in the face and they'll just take it. They'll be like, oh yeah, I love that. And then mid-game, they just they explode.
That's maybe you.
They make these ridiculous plays where they just get an ace and Baron every time. Honestly, all 3 of these previous games, they just get an ace and Baron, and then it's like, okay, game's over. Samsung Blue's got Baron. They've aced you. They're just going to wipe you over and over and over again. So it's just so impressive how much better mid-game these guys are than everyone else.
I completely agree. We'll have a chance to see their mid-game again in just a week's time. With another quarterfinal wrapped up, let's actually take a look at the world's bracket and see how 50% of the quarterfinals have shaped up. Both Samsung organizations coming out above their American opposition 3-1. And that will set us for the team kill semi-final between Samsung White and Samsung Blue, yet again on Korean soil. Bottom half of the bracket is going to be a China versus China matchup tomorrow. It'll be, of course, between Starhorn Royal Club and Edward Gaming, and then followed that by Najin White Shield and OMG. I just very briefly want to talk a little bit of hype about tomorrow's quarterfinal matchup between the 2 Chinese squads. There's a bit of discrepancy between our analysts about whether EDG are going to rise to the occasion considering it's against friendly opponents, or whether or not Starhorn Royal Club's going to choke. Where do you find yourself leaning towards, Double Lift?
Oh man, it's so hard. I think EDG, just because they're so consistent and they, like Freak said before, they always step up when it actually matters. But It's just really hard for me to tell. I chose, I think, 3-2 to EDG, but it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised.
Damn it, double if predictions are tomorrow.
Sorry.
Freak, where are you leaning to build up some hype for tomorrow's match?
Well, for me, building hype, I'm just going to go against you and say 3-2 for Star Hunt Royal Club, just to screw with
I
you
will fight
also
you.
as well. I mean, we can battle. It's fine. Your item build sucks, so I'd win the 1v1s. No, but you built a Zephyr second item on Vayne. Like, I don't know what you're doing. But no, it's honestly a great match. They have very, very different styles. It's going to be a lot of fun to see if Star Hunt Royal Club can use their typical early game advantage. They're just incredible players overall, right? And it's just going to be a bloodbath. It's Chinese law. They fight a lot.
Well, final thoughts from Crippo and Monty before we move on.
I just agree that I think that if the average league viewer has interest in a lot of different things, if you're more like macro strategy, rotations, and calm early games, you would have loved these series so far. If you just want full-on brawl fest, you're probably going to love tomorrow a little more. I'm going to love tomorrow. I have no idea who's going to win. I'm leaning slightly towards one side, which is Royal Club, but honestly, I don't watch enough LPL throughout the entire season to 100% be right here. But I'm just looking forward to see Uzi play.
Final thoughts, Monte Cristo?
Well, I'm leaning towards EDG. I think they're going to pick it up in a best of 5, and that with these couple weeks, we'll kind of re-empower them. And I hope we get to see that, because if you guys actually get to see EDG and Name when they're on fire, it is a pleasure to watch them team fighting, a lot like Samsung Blue.
And if you don't, it's his fault, because he's cursed them with the caster curse, as it were. So you've heard of the opinions. There's a bit split in the disc, which I'm excited about. And that World's Knockout stage will resume with day 3 of the quarterfinals here in Busan. And that Chinese rivalry continues when Edward Gaming meets the Starhorn Royal Club. That series will begin tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central European Summertime, which is actually 10 p.m. Pacific time tonight. So guys, set your alarms accordingly. Today's series started off with a bang, and it ended exactly the same way. That does it for day 2 of the quarterfinals. I'd once again like to thank all of our guests here on the analyst desk, and from all of us and the entire World's broadcast team, thank you for watching. We'll see you for day 3 as the 2014 World Championship continues.
Well, it's been amazing so far.
Let's get these games underway, ladies and gentlemen. The Cloud9 keep pushing on the tower. Oh, they've got that.
Oh, that's going to get burst down. Big wall from the back. Elimination comes in. They managed to find a play on. Heart goes low. This is a wide one.
And Cloud9 take game 1.
We did not come here to lose today.
The shield pulls in the Ignite. Not quite going to get him down. Sneaky's in trouble. It's going to be an ace. What a ace as Samsung Blue strike back in front of their own Korean crowd.
He's going to keep going as well. Good knock upon elimination. And elimination will go down. And Samsung Blue take the lead. Go for it. He's going to go low. Oh, doing a jump. Go for the